This week on Humpcast, a great week for trailers as we get something with Avengers Endgame, Glass, Godzilla, and a Superman horror film. Lots of stuff to talk about on this week. You're listening to Humpcast.
Hit it already. Ow.
Where's it? Welcome to Humpcast, everybody, the show where a couple of buds get buzzed and mix a classic cocktail with a delicious hard awa without fail. My name's Garrett Lee, and today we have a guest panelist, not specifically just a guest to talk about her stuff, but we have Rossyo Ortiz in the house. You may remember her from the episode with Hard Awas, but she is now on here to come just chill and talk with us. Ryan D is off doing Satan's work, as it were, because he actually has a show tonight I think it's a benefit actually for the victims of the California wildfires.
Aww.
And Ricky C is back in hell, so we can't summon him again for a little while, unfortunately.
It happens.
Rest in peace, Ricky C. Or I guess down now.
Oh, you're right.
He basically confirmed that he was in hell this entire time.
Is that peace,
sucks.
though? I don't know.
I don't know. We love him, but he's apparently burning in hell.
Damn.
So, sorry, Ricky, but you fucking, I guess you fucked up somehow. You've never met Ricky. He's the nicest guy. Yeah, he's in hell for sure. He definitely confirmed it last week. So Rossyo is here because she was so nice enough to actually just come by and hang. Now that we're doing the show, it's kind of at odd hours. I know things are changing around, but it's every Tuesday for Wednesday. I think it works out pretty well.
No, you guys, it just gets dark early now, so that's
I know, it's fucking weird. Fucking winter. It's cold. And dude, I was sick for the whole last week.
No.
I'm finally good. Like the last 2 days, I felt good.
What were you sick with?
It was, I don't even know what it was. It was not even just a cold because I wasn't coughing. It was weird because it was just my throat just fucking closed up almost. I don't know if it was a reaction or something, but like it hurt to swallow, and that was the main thing. For the first 2 days, I had a fever, and then after that, I was fine, but my throat sucked.
Damn. I'm glad you're better.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then so now, like, my voice is kind of different, but I mean, I feel a lot better.
No,
it's good.
You don't sound that sick.
Well, thank you.
Or sick at all, yeah.
Well, I'm not. I don't know. There might be something in there, but I'm good. It was like almost a whole week because I started last Tuesday after the show. I woke up and I was like, felt like a fucking bus hit me.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I don't know what the hell. Like, I went to work. It was weird because I went to work and I couldn't stop sweating. They said it's because I was breaking a fever or whatever, but I'm literally in work, like, just doing my random thing. Everyone else is fine, and I'm just, like, dripping sweat. It looks like I just came out of the shower.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were probably, like, burning up.
Yeah. Such is life. But
well,
you had an okay week, though?
I'm sweating over
You're
here.
good? Well, you're wearing a fucking hoodie.
So I thought this was the attire today.
No,
this
fine.
is
This is
I got the memo.
I'm rocking my True Blood shirt.
Oh.
You've never seen True Blood?
No, we just talked about this for the very first time.
I know, cause so you're.
But I heard good things. I just said when
one of
I
my favorite
heard
shows.
When I heard about it, people were like, "It's just vampire porn, sex, porn," and I'm like, I don't know if I really want to.
Awesome.
I don't know if I really want to get into this vampire porn sex show.
Why wouldn't you? Okay, so do you? Okay, you've never.
That's a good question. Why wouldn't I?
Do you not appreciate those types of shows, like HBO shows?
I love Game of Thrones. I love vampires. That's how we discuss this. But the idea of them is like, they're
You're
like
more like
godly.
Yes.
They're not like pornographic.
So you kind of fetishize them non-sexually though.
Yeah.
It's like you're like what, Interview with a Vampire type of stuff you said you liked.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I like funny.
Not Twilight, right?
No. Although there's like, when you're not about it, but you still read all the books and you saw all the movies.
Yes, actually, Twilight's a great example of that because so I saw the movies because my sister was super into it, and I actually read the books because I was in jail and they were there.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
that's funny.
and
that's
so you all you do is you read books in jail. So
they were just quick reads, and we would take reading tests on them. But then when the movies came out, I did enjoy watching them, as corny as they were. I really did.
They were like guilty pleasures.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like Michael Bay movies.
I don't know what that is.
Transformers.
Yeah, I only watched I think the first two, and then I got over
the
it.
first one was the best one by far, quality wise. Then they were all just like
Garbage.
yeah, but like okay, Fast and Furious. Have you ever seen those movies?
Yes.
Those are like just guilty pleasure popcorn flicks.
I stopped watching it after like the third one too. It was too much, like Tokyo and this and that. Too much.
Yeah. Before we get any further, I did want to say, just like every episode, we start off with an alcoholic beverage of some sort.
Yeah.
Today is no different. I've actually. Okay, I'll tell you what you're drinking first, just because I made this one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it's delicious.
This, since you were so kind as to leave behind a few of these hard frescoes drinks last time you were here, this is the Tangy Tamarindo, 6.7% alcohol, or 5.7% alcohol. I decided to make a little cocktail with it for you when you came back.
It's bomb. What's in here?
So this is going to be a mixture of a classic cocktail, the margarita, but made the right way. Obviously, I didn't put any salt around the rim because I don't like that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of salt today too.
Yeah, salt around the rim for me was never a big thing. But fresh lime is. So you have a margarita in there with, really good añejo tequila. You have a little bit of Cointreau, which is like an orange liqueur.
Ooh.
You have agave syrup.
Okay.
Not simple syrup. This is actually sweetener from the agave plant itself.
Okay.
And fresh lime juice.
Lime, not lemon.
Both. So limon is lime, and
Mm-hmm.
I always have this conversation because I'm half Mexican, but all the Hispanics in my life always give me shit for it. So I'm like, no, listen to me. When you're speaking in English, you have limes, which are green,
Right.
and lemon, which are yellow,
Right.
And I always for tequila use lime, which are green.
I love it.
So
I love. In Espanol, everything's all the same. Limon is limon and
What is-
limon and limon.
Yeah.
And
fucking-
lime is limon.
Yeah.
And verbena limes are limon. And everything's limon.
Yeah, but there's different like species or whatever, like different types of these little ones. But these are the good, nice, big, juicy green limes, and I use them in there. And then, so I made a margarita up to about 3/4 of the way, and then I topped it with this hard fresco's tangy tamarindo.
I like that. It's very citrusy, and it's not sweet. Well,
Yeah.
like
I
me,
didn't go
it's
because I know
perfect.
what
love
you
that.
like. I didn't want to
Yeah.
make it too sweet. If you wanted it sweeter, you could
No.
add more of the orange liqueur and the agave syrup.
It's
but for
perfectly
you,
balanced.
yeah, for
I
you,
love.
I wanted it to be a little bit more on the tart side, and then you could taste this. You could taste the citrus. and
Yeah, it's
whatnot.
perfect.
And then for me, I've been craving this all week.
What?
And again, because I was sick all week, I wasn't drinking really until the last 2 days, which I don't know if that helped or not because I had tequila, and tequila is medicine essentially.
Yeah.
And so I felt better every day that I was drinking tequila.
Good for you. See?
Yeah, but I wanted a beer tonight, and I got this from Cosmos World Market, which is actually a place that I don't go to a lot, but every time I go there, I always find something I like. It's like my Target. Like every time I go there, I find something I
How
like.
weird. My daughter's been telling me about that place too.
Cosplus?
Yeah, I've never been once.
It's fun.
I'm like, what is that store?
have you been to Big Lots?
Yes.
It's like fancy Big Lots.
Ooh, that sounds awesome, actually.
Exactly.
But
That's
it was so random. I never trusted the food stuff at those stores.
which kind of food stuff? What do you mean?
Like, like the baskets, like the Christmas baskets with cheese and salami
Oh.
or buttered popcorn.
Okay, so at Big Lots, I would be inclined to be like, yeah, I wouldn't trust that, but here I would. They specialize in a lot of different foods you'd find around the world. So right now I have some Belgian chocolates that do you like chocolate?
Yeah.
Do you like strawberry?
Yeah.
I have strawberry yogurt filled Belgian chocolate in my fridge right now.
What in the
It is so
world?
fucking good.
I trust you.
Yes, and then they have a bunch of other stuff from just like different sections of the world. They have it sectioned off by like region, I guess. And then they of course have their own beer section, wine section, and in the beer section, I found this motherfucker that I've been craving forever, a Delirium Tremens, one of my favorite Belgians. It is so refreshing.
It is.
It is light. It is golden. It is not too dark.
Woo!
And I just like dark Belgians. I have to be in just the right mood. But,
Okay.
but light Belgians like this, I can drink them all day.
Okay.
All day, whenever. Have you ever had this one?
Yes, I have.
You want to try some more?
I would love to.
And then yeah,
I like the little pink
elephants?
elephant. Yeah.
yeah, of course. I don't know for sure if Delirium Tremens came first or Dumbo, but they definitely share the pink elephant.
No, it's so. I'm probably mixing it up, but the story that I was briefed on with this delirium tremens and this pink
Elephant.
is because one of the symptoms of alcohol withdrawal is delirium tremens. So you get all the shakes and you hallucinate. So that's supposed to be a hallucination.
Okay, cool. So then I would wager then this came before the
So I think
Dumbo.
this came after. No, I think
Before?
Dumbo first.
Dumbo first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
We should look that up.
Let's look it up.
I'll figure that out.
What are you guessing though? I think this.
I'm guessing this came
after.
first. I would say the opposite, to
guys,
be honest.
give us your what do you guys think?
Yeah, you let us know what you think.
Tell
I'm
us
gonna look it up real quick. But I want to thank you for coming on first and foremost too, because it's
Thanks
like
for having me.
It's like since that show we've kind of become better friends.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was my first time ever being on like one of these things, so I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and it was really cool that it's just like I met you at a thing. I invited you on the show as a guest, and then since then, like we got to talk a lot more.
And since then, you've introduced me to my two favorite fucking restaurants at the moment. Because you took me to that pho spot.
You can name them if you want.
I don't know how to,
Oh,
so I'm sorry. I'm not keeping any secrets. He can tag them later if you guys ask.
So for the pho place, it's Viet Huang in
El Monte,
California. I don't know if it's South El Monte or
I don't know either.
But it's on Garvey and Santa Anita in El Monte, California.
So when was that time that we went after the show?
That was
2 weeks ago.
Was it? I think 2 or 3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 weeks ago. In 3 weeks, I've been there 3 times. No joke.
Wow.
So I'm committed. Thank you so much. I'm going to hit the ramen spot again too, but that pho is extraordinary.
Ramen, I will actually hold that one a little bit closer to the vest because every time I go there, it is fucking packed.
Yeah.
You witnessed it, and that was on a rainy day.
Yeah, there's like a fucking waiting list, the whole shebang. It's worth it though.
It is totally worth it.
Starving, and let that kind of, get your hungriness develop.
Yeah, don't go hungry.
Take a flask, take some tequila, take some playing cards.
Oh yeah,
sign up.
I introduced you to Tranquila that day too.
You did.
Yes.
Which
you guys know if you've been listening to the show. #Tranquila. You got the delicious yet cheap tequila you keep in your trunk for emergencies. In this case, we were hungry, but we were also not hangry. But like I was like, I think we deserve a shot. We took a shot. We had some great ramen. We had some great plum wine. Boom, that shit was amazing.
It was truly.
Mm-hmm. So we should continue the trend once we can afford better shit right now.
Yes, I agree.
It is Christmas season.
After holidays.
This is a holiday season.
Yes.
Not trying to spend no unnecessary cash at the moment.
I know. As hard as it is, it's going to be like Taco Bell.
Okay,
so I had
an interesting conversation earlier about getting presents for people that you don't necessarily see a lot of times around except for holidays.
Okay.
What is your stance on this? Do you usually get presents for people that you see once or twice a year?
Depends on the situation. Depends on everything, I think.
Okay.
I think depends if you're going somewhere who's hosting.
Well, let's start off. Do you have a tradition that you do? Do you know what you're doing every holiday, or is it different?
It's different, but it was at least similar. What it covers is you eat. You either go to eat or they come to you, and you have a Christmas Eve dinner together. And that starts later, like 6. It's one of the very few, aside from like New Year's Eve, Christmas time for a couple weeks are like the few times a year that, at least in my family, everyone stayed up super late.
Yeah.
There's midnight mass. There's all these like posadas.
You go to church?
I don't go to church. But yes, aunts and cousins and moms.
Some people go to church.
They go to church.
Okay.
Yeah, they eat tamales. They eat pozole. They drink ponche. They put on their scarves and their rebosos and then go to
I've never had ponche. What is that again?
Ooh, okay. So everybody has their like take. I will bring you some, by the way. And
I appreciate that.
Mostly it's moms, grandmas, and what they do is they brew stone fruit, water, cinnamon.
So is that
other
stone
fruits.
fruit that's like cherry and
stone
and,
fruit,
and plum,
apricot, plum. Exactly, dried plum or fresh plum, whatever. Sometimes guavas or arrayanes, whatever fruit is familiar and that you like to your palate. But stone fruits are very popular. And cinnamon is also popular. There could be cranberries in there as well.
I love cinnamon.
Kind of like a hot boiled sangria type of concoction. So you could
Is there
switch
alcohol
up.
in it?
Yes. There's.
You had me at alcohol.
I want to say there's rum and brandy or scotch, and don't quote me on the liquor. I don't know.
Okay,
what
so
liquor.
this is not not
Brandy?
necessarily is it Mexican or Mexican American origin? Do you know? Or
No, it's definitely not Mexican American because the one who makes this only is my mom.
Huh.
Like my sister and I, we don't. I'd love to learn her ponche recipe. Oh, and there's also sugarcane pieces, caña.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing, but it's definitely.
But that's the weird thing is like
Hispanic, I think.
tequila, to my knowledge, is the only real thing that was in Mexico. It's from Mexico, so you kind of put it in there.
You know,
Or like Brazil has their like cachaça, which is their own version of rum.
gotcha.
And like there's
Ooh,
a lot of different areas have their own specific sort of liquors or spirits or whatever. And as far as I know,
Yeah.
Mexico doesn't have like a rum like.
Maybe it's not rum. It's a cognac or
Cognac?
What is
Yeah.
what is the Buchanan?
Buchanan's.
It's cognac, no?
It might be. It's
Scotch.
Buchanan's. It
I'm-
might be not cognac, but
It's
what's
good
the?
my mom doesn't watch my live thing because she'd be so disappointed. Like, how do you not know what that is? But they drink that,
Buchanan's. All right, I'm
and
gonna
that's
look
what's in the ponche sometimes.
it's something I don't drink,
Or
but I
things
know
along.
of. It is right here. Bingo,
Whiskey.
bingo. I know. Yeah, I knew it was whiskey, but is it just regular?
Blended
Scotch.
Scotch whiskey.
Scotch whiskey.
So
That's what it was.
I was close. So we
Interesting.
could put Scotch whiskey in that.
Very interesting. Scotch whiskey is something that I used to get when I was like in my high school years.
I'm not a
but it
fan
was
of
very,
Scotch whiskey.
very cheap. Yeah, no, not usually. It's weird how your tastes sort of change.
Yeah.
When you're just starting to drink, and for me and a lot of my friends, it was in high school.
Yeah.
Your tastes are like, whatever's the cheapest.
I was chugging Sparks. Do you remember
I don't know
what
what
those?
what is Sparks?
Oh my god, it's good you never. They were like energy drinks,
But with alcohol.
Yes,
We had something
that tastes
like
like
that. What was it?
urine. It was
Ew.
disgusting.
We had like Four Locos was like that. No.
Yes, but they were more sugary. At least they had like
Okay, no, I take
You
it back.
know?
I have heard of Sparks.
Sparks were like a fluorescent orange color. It was like battery juice. I don't even know, but we were.
Yes. It's like they were designed for high school kids or something.
guess,
It's
yeah.
like super cheap and just the worst for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And to like overstimulate you.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
And
yeah.
fuck. And when I was in high school too, that was like the rise of energy drinks and stuff like that. I remember I had a friend who would drink at least 2 to 3 Monsters a day.
That's terrible.
The big ones with the twist top. And those are the ones before they had ones without sugar.
Well, and then there's cases, I don't know, like I never like researched them, but I'd always hear like, oh, breaking news, someone's heart exploded from so much Red Bull. And
I
it's
don't
like,
know that ever actually happened.
I don't know either. I never looked into it, but I wouldn't be that surprised if it was true.
For me, I remember being in high school, and we actually wanted to put that to the test. So we also were very klepto. I don't know if you ever went through this phase.
No.
A lot.
I tried stealing a chapstick at the 99-cent store when I was like 9, and they made it like that I was going to get arrested and go to jail. Both my parents were there, and it was like a Smacker's chapstick
you
in
just
my
wanted
hand
it because I had like strawberries or something on it, right?
and glitter, and
Yeah.
I was fucking mortified. I was like, how never ever, like the fear that I felt when I was like, it's not worth anything, no matter how much you want the sparkly chapstick. I was like, never again.
You know what's weird? I had that same sort of moment
Mm-hmm.
at Disneyland, but it never. I don't know what. It didn't change me. Like it, or it
That's
didn't.
funny. There's a
I
thrill.
remember. I remember like exactly what happened. I was probably 6 or 7, and I didn't even think I was stealing at the time.
Oh, that makes it a little.
This
different.
was a pin, and it was in a little basket, and for whatever reason, my mind was like, things in baskets are free. Because I think I through my whole life, they're like, oh, here's like a free basket, like you took out your little things. I'm like, cool.
baskets.
So we were in like yeah, exactly, trying to exit Disneyland or whatever, and there was a little basket with pins, and I was like, okay, but like nobody noticed until we walked out. And then everyone made a big deal about it. Like, not the store people, but my family, like, mortified me. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I was like, I threw it.
That's so cute.
I threw it. I was like, I don't have it anymore. What
I
happened?
feel like that happens all the time at Disneyland because I've heard several stories. Like, so and so walked out. And she's holding like this pincher
Yes.
thing in her hand. We don't notice till like a mile later.
As a kid, it's not always malevolent. You're not always like, oh, they're stealing. You're like, as a kid, you're like, it's just in my hand. I have it. And then you realize later on, oh shit, I didn't pay for this. Or,
right.
something like that.
Yeah.
There was a fucking funny video that I saw. It was this kid crying because he just walked out of like, I don't know, like a pizza, like a Shakey's.
Right.
With the plastic tumbler of drink. He didn't think anything of it until he was in the car and they started recording him. He's like, ooh, we're getting the cops. He's like, don't do it. I didn't mean it.
I think I see that.
And he's just holding this plastic tumbler which had like Sprite or something in it.
Up.
He's like, I didn't mean to do it. I just walked out with it. I'm sorry.
My ex-brother-in-law that used to be my sister's husband, her first husband.
Sorry, what the fuck you just said?
My ex-brother-in-law?
Your ex-brother-in-law who uses your...
My sister, because if he's a
Sisters.
brother-in-law, he's
Yeah.
my sister's husband.
Was, yes.
But now he's my ex-brother-in-law.
Got it.
You're following?
Now I am. We're back on the same
So
page.
that guy used to put salt shakers or Parmesan cheese shakers in my mom's purse
That's...
when they'd go to Chuck E. Cheese. Because I remember hearing things like when they'd come back with the kids, my nieces and nephews. My mom, there'd just be this argument and he'd be laughing and she's like, take it back. But this is like when they're already home and she's literally like imploring that this man drive back this salt shaker or this cheese or red pepper shaker back to Chuck E. Cheese. And he's like, you said it was cute. Like, just
like, I got it for you.
Like, just for you. Yeah, I feel like little things like that made my mom happy though. Like she really truly did appreciate them.
Well, okay, so then moving forward in my life, in high school, I'm trying to think what was like the first major thing that kind of set this off because I didn't really, I wasn't always about stealing stuff, or maybe I was, and I'm just blocking it out. But like literally since then, I was like, it never really fazed me. I was like, well, I want this, but I don't want to pay for it, so I'm gonna take it.
Well, that makes sense.
But then I grew up and I just got really good at it to the point where like my family would know because I would tell them. But I remember this one time like I kind of took it as a challenge because they were making fun of me or something.
And they condoned your thieving
No, they did not.
behavior?
They did not like it. But I mean, it was pretty much like my parents didn't condone it, but the rest of my family didn't kind of care, I guess. I don't know.
That makes sense.
But there was this one time I was at a store and I was around like all of my family or whatever, and then I took a thing and then I showed them after, once we had left the premises, like, how the fuck did you do that? I was standing right next to you the entire time, and I didn't see you do that. I'm like, yeah. So I took it as like a badge of honor. And I know it's fucked up now, like as an adult.
That
or
makes
whatever.
me scared. Like I always think, like, what if I'm there and I don't know what's going on?
Well, that's the whole
and
thing.
all of
like,
a sudden, it's like
your
SWAT
kid.
teams.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's what most people think.
Oh my god.
Okay, so and here's the thing. Like in my head, it's very different. I assess situations based on what they
Like I'm very thorough with my
kind of, and it sounds cocky. It sounds like bullshit, but it's true for the most part. Like you can kind of tell when something has. When people don't give a fuck about like their job at a retail store, or when there's high security or low security or no security or whatever,
true.
like I pay attention to people, and I'm like, you know what? There's no security guard, there's no sensors, there's no this, there's no that. I was like, I want this, and then throughout high school, I put all that to the test, and because like I met other people that also like stealing stuff.
What'd you steal in high school?
Everything.
What was like the craziest thing you've ever stolen?
It really depends on like crazy or big or what. So I'll put a little some of my trophies.
Yeah,
like,
let's hear all of them.
I've stolen a katana.
What is that?
A katana is a large Japanese samurai sword.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a whip for some reason, but I was close. It's still a weapon.
Not really at all.
It's a weapon.
I guess, yeah, but this is a sword, a Japanese sword. I remember because I was.
Where is it?
It's in my room.
I need to see it before we leave.
All right.
All right.
So it was literally I was in an antique store, and this was one day we actually had a day where my friends and I would go and kind of challenge each other. We're like, all right, let's see the best shit that we could come up with. And my other friend got this giant like $300 like commemorative clock for his girlfriend at the time. It was I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I've
Who's
stolen
your girlfriend?
Oh, okay. So there's right there. You can see it in the store that Coors Light pool cue. I got that for my brother when I was in high school as a gift. Okay, I'll tell you this too.
Okay.
Most of the things that I've stolen in my life are gifts.
But what does that say?
I don't know if it makes it better.
I don't know if that makes it better. You're giving stolen merchandise.
But it's because it's like, so throughout my whole life,
you want to get caught up with the shit.
throughout my whole life, like I've been very frugal to the point that I'm like, if I don't have to spend money, I won't. No, now it's different. Now it's different.
My god!
That's what I'm just saying. Now it's different. I'm very different now. I've developed a sort of a morality, but prior to like a couple of years ago, everything was like not off limits. Like if I could,
oh my goodness,
if I saw an opening and I wanted it, I would take it.
Okay.
And so like I've gotten swords. I've gotten my guitar. I stole the guitar.
Well, do you want to go to the Renaissance Fair with me next year?
I would love to.
You can, tap back into your old ways if you'd like, because I'm not trying to pay $300 for a fucking tiny blade, but I always am like, this is so
fair
beautiful.
enough. Here was one moral thing that I actually have done though. I don't steal from people. I don't steal from people or small businesses.
Damn it, they're all small businesses over there.
Yeah. So like I when I did it, I was like Disneyland. Why not?
Yeah, they're
Grocery Ralph's. Why not?
what?
You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
Like when it's come down to like people, I'm not gonna do that unless they've like fucked up, and then like, you know what, fuck you, or you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
So there was a sense of morality.
Okay.
I was like, Disneyland isn't gonna miss this $20 blah blah blah.
No.
And
But you also weren't like Robin Hood. You weren't like stealing
No.
the pins and then giving them to your class.
No, but I did make a business out of it. So this is a
You
long.
sold the stolen shit?
Listen to what I'm saying. When I was in high school, you know, in high school there's always parties and shit like that.
Okay.
I realized my talent for taking stuff and assessing situations. I started stealing and selling liquor bottles to people that threw parties.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a 3-man operation.
And who the hell would buy it for you?
Literally everyone throwing a party.
No, I mean, you're not buying them because you're stealing them. That's
Well, it's 100% profit.
right.
Or more, because I would upcharge it because I was like, you know, we went through some shit to get this.
And we're teenagers.
And we're also 16. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So we'd have a dude that would be the getaway driver, quote unquote. We were essentially micro bank robbers. We had a guy that had a car. I was like, all right, cool, you drive. And then we had 2 men. One would be the lookout, one would be the thief. And then we would switch positions every once in a while, whatnot. But yeah, that was the whole thing. And we'd scope a place out and be like, no, this place is not good, or yeah, we can do it for this place, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then we'd just get lists from people that were throwing parties, and we'd give them an estimate about how much it was.
Oh my god.
And we were straight illegal entrepreneurs.
Look at that. Okay, so now this is not matching up to where you got to the point where you didn't want to buy Christmas presents for anyone.
Oh no, that was just constant. So like, whenever by Christmas. Sorry, I forgot that we went to that. No, okay. So now, as an adult, I'm entering into the phase where it's like, you know, I'm an actual adult. I'm making a good amount of money. I can afford things. So I haven't stolen.
Oh, so that's why we're
long
getting back to
time.
were we started. How do we
Yeah, so I'm like,
decide
but
who
now
to
who
buy
do I
shit?
buy shit for? Because it's like I was talking to someone and we were having this conversation. It's like, dude, it's so hard to like buy presents for these people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's simple. I just never buy those people presents because I've seen them once, maybe twice a year.
You guys don't have like, I feel like in cases like that, it's important to kind of, and then you have to choose a person to do it because not everyone's fit for that position. But you need to do something like a Secret Santa exchange or a white elephant gift.
Well,
Because then
here's the
everybody just brings a general gift and you all get a general gift and you all trade. So everyone's kind of happy. But you don't have to know what they like. And then
Yeah.
that, you know.
But my whole thing is that is kind of counterintuitive to me. I'm like, if I've if I enjoy your company and I've known you for like a few months versus this person I've known my whole life, but I don't enjoy their company,
Right.
I'm gonna get you a present.
Yeah, then
don't
don't go to
care.
their Christmas party.
But it's like there's family, there's like significant others of family. You know
No,
what I
you
mean?
definitely don't get presents for them.
And then
Unless you're cool with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's entirely based upon, for me, entirely based upon our actual relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is why it's like a no bullshit thing. I was like okay, so for example, and I will say it right now, I was like, my sister's boyfriend, he's fucking cool.
Oh, okay.
So I got him a gift.
But you didn't get your sister one?
No, yeah.
Oh.
I never said that. No, yes, I got something from her.
Oh, shit.
I'm just saying, like, but he's not someone that, like, obviously, if I didn't, if okay, obviously I wouldn't know him if he wasn't my sister's boyfriend. But I'm saying because of that impact of our relationship, just off of our own thing, I got him a gift. But like, let's say he wasn't cool, it's totally viable that I wouldn't give him a gift.
Of course.
If it was just my sister's boyfriend who I didn't like or didn't know anything about. You know what I mean?
I mean, if my daughter acted like a demon from hell one, season,
And
I wouldn't give her a gift.
That's my whole point. I have no
That's
kids.
my kid.
I have no kids.
I'm like, nope, not
But
this year.
I'm like, if I have a great time with you, if I have a relationship with you this whole year, I'm like, yeah, you get a gift.
Yeah.
If I don't, no.
That's how it has to be. No one
Yeah.
is like, you're not required. There's no certain way.
Yeah.
Gifts are gifts, so it's not like
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
so didn't get me
I'd
a
rather
gift.
I'd rather not bullshit a gift than I'd rather just give you a gift because it's like, you know what, I like you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you and your life. Here's a gift.
Right.
And it's a gift. It's not just a obligatory gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Although some of those obligatory ones they crack me up. Like sometimes my mom's friends will give her things, and these ladies have been friends for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do your friends of 15 years not know you? Like
That is weird.
they
actually.
give you, but it's a different generation.
Actually, you know what? I
It's
kind
like
of
they
I
give
kinda
you
get that.
these fragrances of things you don't like. Like at least
That
know
I
what
don't.
fragrance you like.
I feel like sometimes too it's a generational thing too.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Because it's like oh woman, I love you, but it's more like I've been around you my whole life,
Yeah.
but I don't know shit about you. Really?
Yeah, because they don't have these conversations like that. They
No.
don't say like, what are your dreams? What
Yeah,
are
no,
your
no,
fears?
no, they're just like,
what
we
is
like
your
hanging out.
favorite scent? They just always, exactly. Or they grew up as neighbors, or it's a different dynamic.
I get that because I have one friend like that. I've known this person my entire life, but and every once in a while, like we have a conversation, but not like an in-depth one. And it's not like it's not a huge thing, but it's like I don't if it came down to it and you asked me a bunch of questions about this person's life, I wouldn't be able to answer them very well.
That makes sense.
Because it's like I don't know what it is. It's not obligatory because I actually like this person. It's just not someone that I see every day. It's not someone that we hang out a lot.
I mean, are there that many people that you see on like a daily basis?
You know what's funny? Like coworkers, yes.
Yeah, but
And some coworkers become friends.
Absolutely. And yes, always. But I just mean like, just say in the last 10 years, someone that kind of consistently has, 'cause I can't think of one person. I can think of a lot of individuals that I'm very familiar with, but
Okay.
not a single damn person that
So let me tell you.
I've seen regularly for
Let me tell you something about this show. Actually,
Okay.
its actual inception was more of an excuse for a group of my friends to hang out every single
That's
week.
awesome.
And it has worked very well until we all started having fucked up schedules.
And what brought on the fucked up schedules?
That's different works.
Changes of
It's
like
life
careers.
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so originally there was 4 of us. One guy decided to sort of burn some bridges.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Ricky C. decided, or he has a job that requires him to go to work very early, so we couldn't. Originally, we would do it like every Tuesday. Like now is probably when we would start, and he can't do that. He's gonna be in bed in the next hour probably.
Okay.
And then Ryan has changed jobs a lot, so his schedule changes all the time. And right now for the season, it just changed again, which made it hard because the whole thing was recently we were doing daytime episodes because it fit his schedule most. Like he didn't go into work until 3 p.m. And so we could just do a perfect 12 noon show until like 2 and he's good. But now that changed, so now it's getting more difficult, and it's more like we have to figure out what the fuck we're supposed to be doing with that. But the thing is, because of that, and because we've grown up our whole lives with each other, and we actually like each other, we see each other outside of the show, obviously. We make time to go see each other. And so while it's not daily that I see these people, it is close to weekly.
And it's continuous always. Yeah.
And of course, with the internet, it's very easy. So like Ricky, rest in peace, Ricky C. I talk to him probably pretty much daily.
Ooh, look at all this delicious gold.
Yeah. Here, do you have any more of this? No.
Oh my God, you drank it all?
A little bit. You can share with me.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the whole thing that I'm talking about. Is it's not like a daily thing. I actually prefer not to see most people daily.
Gotcha.
But weekly, stuff like that is perfect for me because like you get to catch up. Like, oh hey, like what happened?
That's cool.
I heard about this happening, but it was like a week or two ago.
Even weekly is like so often now.
Yeah, and that's all about like a natural sort of a natural relationship with somebody. And that's the whole thing is just like because of our natural relationship, like we talk all the time.
That's good.
And then we could take breaks, obviously, because we're busy, and then come right back as if we just were talking about it yesterday. Like, oh, you did the thing. What happened with that? Blah, 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 blah. And like, that's what I'm saying. It's I like talking to people all the time, but I understand not doing it.
Yeah, me too. I don't have.
And then there's just people that I talk to every once in a while. And then, like, we're talking about people that I literally talk to once or twice a year.
Yeah. I have more of those than anyone.
Yeah.
Like, the relatives, the family that I grew up, like, being not close to, just being, like, every Sunday we'd have, like, park barbecues or things. Like, 'cause I remember even, like, Easters and holidays were so family-filled and cousins and aunts and all the time, carne asadas.
Yeah.
But then after, like,
Sounds bomb.
9, 10... After a while, I stopped seeing everyone. Like, not even once a year I'd see those aunts or cousins sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still see my, like, immediate family very regularly.
Yeah, and my immediate family, so, like, my mom and my dad, I talk to them. We have message boards and stuff like that, but sometimes I don't see them for months at a time. Not months.
Is this good?
Thank you. You can have as much as you want.
Thanks.
Like a month and a half at a time or something like that. Like at the longest. It's okay with us. And then we get together and we have a thing.
Yeah. What do you guys eat?
Ooh, okay. So that's the fun part. So we have always grown up very culinarily diverse.
I know.
My mother did a majority of the cooking.
Okay.
And she's Hispanic. She's my Mexican side. But she never just solely cooked Mexican food.
That's rad.
She always cooked something different.
That's crazy,
so
too.
I grew up with, like, fried chicken, pork chops. I don't know if she ever made mole, but different like sauces with different stuff.
That's cool.
My favorite dish right now, if I had to put it hands down, like my last dish would probably be a mixture of my mother and my tia's huevos rancheros. Because here's the main difference. My tia makes it with quesadillas, while my mother makes them with just tostada shells. And these are all, of course, they make them. So, like, you fry the tortilla or fry the quesadilla, and then you put that as the base. You put the fried eggs on top, and then a ranchero sauce that is the most fucking delicious thing I've ever had.
Okay.
And then some cheese on top of that.
How could you not choose the fried quesadilla over just the fried?
Okay, so my mom makes different sauce than my tia does.
Fuck. So you'd use the quesadilla,
So
but
like-
your mom's sauce.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So mom's thing with quesadilla base.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But also, here's the thing, too. I sometimes just love chewing on a fried tortilla shell versus
Same.
a quesadilla.
I love chilaquiles.
Like,
that's one of a go-to breakfast.
Chilaquiles?
Yeah, because
they
that's-
never made chilaquiles, and so that it was never a thing that I grew up with.
But if you're describing if what you're describing is something you like to eat, you would love it.
Yeah.
Because it just has that sauce.
Oh
It
no,
has
I've had it
the
since.
sprinkled
but-
cheese. Like you'll
Yeah.
chilaquiles are good.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, if I were to go, this is how it would go. It would go first round would be quesadillas for my tia. Second round would go tortilla shells
Oh, okay.
because the cheese is a little bit too much after that. So like
Gotcha.
two or three quesadillas first round, 2 eggs, sauce, cheese. Second round, 2 to 3 shells, eggs, cheese, sauce, all that shit. Boom. And that's how it would work for me. And then if I were hungry after that, because sometimes I get a bit hungry after that, I'll just fucking chew on the shells.
That's yummy.
And that's what I'm saying. So, but then I've been exposed to all these different things. So my dad was never much of a culinary person. He would make stuff for us, but no, he would never really be experimental, which is interesting because his dad actually owned a restaurant. Yeah.
Okay.
He would basically make different forms of ramen for us.
Hey, you know what? Power to
no,
that.
no poo poo on that. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
the way that I am now is more because my mom and her side are very
God bless you, moms.
adventurous.
My mom's not adventurous.
Yeah.
It's the same shit over and over again.
Mhm.
But it is so good. Like, and I found that to be true. I didn't appreciate it always, but as my palate changed and I grew up eating different people's food,
Yeah.
I did, as like a young adult, realize when my palate was like becoming this, this cultured palate that I have now.
Yeah.
When that happened, I'm like, okay, I realized like, damn, her spices and her, obviously I have a bias, but it's like they're on point to me.
Yeah.
Like I love them compared to different things and styles from the same regions or comparable things. My dad on the other side, he was always trying crazy shit. But the thing was that like, even though she did the most, sometimes I'd be like, can you not put like onions, tomatoes, and cilantro on everything? Like, can you just make the meat with just onions and garlic this time? Or things like that. No.
Well, change it.
She
What is this?
wouldn't.
Rosemary? Put that shit in there.
No, and she never wanted to, but
Yeah.
at least it was always consistent and good. He'd be like, I'll throw this in there, that in there, this salsa, this. And with him, it was like, oh, sometimes it was so inedible. Other times it'd be like, oh, this
really?
shit came out good. But it was such a like.
I will say this about my mom though.
It
She's
was-
never made a single thing that I can remember that I did not love.
See? Moms are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I loved it. And it was she was very stereotypical Mexican mom in the sense that I asked her, how do you make this? What's the recipe? She's like, I don't know. You just kind of do it.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, that doesn't help me.
I just had this conversation. And they also cook for a herd. I don't know if yours is.
Yes. And so there was always leftovers. So it was like dinner Monday, and then leftovers for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then dinner Thursday, and then leftovers
Forever.
Yeah.
I asked her today, actually. I said, can you give me your pozole recipe for Christmas? And she said, who are you making it for? Because she's assuming I'm going to round up like 15 people. And I'm like,
Can I just for me? Can
I
have
just-
one bowl of pozole.
but because she can't even give me the idea of what
Yes.
she'd use. So what she's going to say is you get 20 pounds of this, 10 pounds of this, 10 pounds of this. So it's like I'm going to have a recipe that calls for 40 pounds of meat and bones and stock and marrow.
That sounds good. Invite me over.
But I'm going to have to like, okay, how do I ration this so that it's for 2 people and not
Not
fucking 40?
40. Yeah.
But she was funny about that today. And she was very resistant to giving me the recipe. She's like, well, what party are you planning? And I'm like, I'd like to have it for Christmas. And because she might go to Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're not going to be here, let me try to make it. And I know how she is. So she'll come back from Mexico and she'll say, did you make it? And if I do or don't, like she'll say, how did it come out? And then she'll make it. So then I win twice.
Boom.
I get to make it. Mine will most definitely not come out like hers.
Yeah.
And then she'll make it and then I'll be happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. And so, yeah, food has been a big part of my life.
Good.
And
So it switches up every year for you guys?
no, actually, here's the fun part about it. Okay, so yes and no. We have a tradition, but the foods change. So
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So just like, I don't know if I told you about Thanksgiving. We had a very traditional sort of thing, and it just depends on whose house it's at, really, I guess.
That makes sense.
This Thanksgiving was at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get the traditional turkey, traditional ham, and then everything else is just depending on what you feel like. So,
Okay.
like, there is an arugula salad that my aunt has, and I call her my aunt because it was always my tia from my Mexican side, and I swear to God, I didn't know the word aunt or uncle until I was at least 8 or 9 years old. I only knew tia and tio.
That's funny.
And so I had an auntie Cynthia who's like my Asian side, and I'm like, wait, what? What does that mean? It's like it's the same thing as your tia. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Because I had this instance where I was talking to my teacher, and I was talking about my tio. And she's like, you're what? I'm like, my tio. And she's like, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say. That I was like, it's my tio. Like, I didn't know uncle. I didn't know that word. And so it was just my tia and my tio for what I grew up with. And so, like, you know, people grew up with their Nino and their Nina. Mm-hmm. And then for me, it was my tio and my tia. And then I never understood uncle or aunt until, like, at least 7 or 8 years old. And I was like, oh, that makes more sense now. So my aunt, she brought the arugula salad. My sister made these awesome green beans. Not your typical green bean casserole, but it was like a sauteed green bean, cranberry
That sounds
nut
bomb.
thing. I made a crab shrimp veg. Oh, okay. So have you ever had calabacitas?
Mm-hmm.
Calabacitas is more of like you have like
We
zucchini.
talked about this.
Yes, zucchini and cheese and butter and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I made that, but with pepper jack and cheddar, as well as crab and shrimp, and that shit was bomb beezy. It was so good. I love it. I love cooking. I've been cooking since I was about 7 or 8 too. Granted, that was a lot more like just ramen and fried shit that I could just pop in the microwave.
What
or
was the
spice it.
grossest thing that you could think of that you made? Because I have one very vivid thing that will haunt me forever. Because it's still things that I adore, but
Yeah.
I'm just picturing myself making it when I was 8.
A little kid.
And it grosses me out the thought of it. I'll tell you after. But like you
can't-
think
okay,
of something first.
Here's the hardest part. Like it's hard because I want to actually pick something. I can't remember making something that I was really like horrified that it came out this way. Except I can tell you something my sister made that was pretty bad.
What was it? Why are you gonna throw her under the bus?
Because she doesn't listen to the show. Also, this is the one that stands out in my mind. And if you ask anyone in my family what is the worst thing that any of us have made, this would probably be the answer. And that's why I'm saying, like,
Let's hear it.
so this one year, she wanted to make this sort of, I think it was baked eggplant or something.
Okay.
And
Ratatouille?
no, it was just baked. It was like a baked eggplant sort of thing. But the recipe called for purging the eggplant, which is salting and washing and, you know, getting all the water out of the eggplant.
Okay.
So she did the salting part of it, but she forgot the washing part of it. And so she baked it and served it to us. I'm like, all right, it looks fine. It looks baked. It looks whatever. And so we cut into it, put it in her mouth, and it's just like immediate, like a saladito. It was just the saltiest. Like, it had to have been like if I had eaten the whole slice of eggplant, might have been lethal type of shit. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw
like
up.
your whole mouth shrivels up inward.
It was just a salty fucking
Damn.
piece of eggplant. It was the worst. And I'm not even exaggerating the amount, because if you think about what you have to do to purge something, you coat it in salt, not just like a little salt. It's you fucking bury it in the salt, and then you pull it out, and you're supposed to wash the salt off.
I can't believe she didn't.
She didn't do that.
How do you forget to wash the salt?
I don't know.
She didn't think that was an unreasonable amount of salt.
I don't know what the fuck.
How old was she?
In her teens, at least.
Oh, I don't blame her then.
I want to say 19.
No, okay, maybe she's beginner. She
19 or
doesn't know.
older.
That's fine.
But I'm just saying, that was the worst I can remember of any of us doing. Like, I can't really remember a fucked up any of us making any food. Even my brother, like none of us have really fucked up food that bad that we can think about it, except for that one time with my sister. And I'm sorry to throw her under the bus, but literally that's the only time I can think of any of us really doing like a horrible job. Everything else has been like, okay, to awesome. Like it's never.
Good.
It's, yeah.
I've had some shitty, disgusting things I made.
Really? Like what?
But the worst, thinking of it as a kid, like this is what I just a lot. Like I made the matzo ball soup a week ago.
Yeah, you made matzo balls.
Broth was bomb.
But
the matzo balls came out like. So I tried making the soup
and
last
what are
year.
matzo balls?
Matzo balls are like so Jewish people traditionally have matzo ball soup, and what matzo balls are they look like albondigas, so like meatballs, but they have no meat in it. It only has ground up matzo crackers. So like think of a saltine cracker.
Okay.
Not a salty. So I usually use the egg and onion matzo crackers, and then I grind them to a meal.
Okay.
And then you beat eggs. You get other things, and schmaltz. So this was the problem.
Look at the schmaltz.
This is what I thought was the problem. Schmaltz is chicken fat.
Okay.
And I absolutely go to my mom. I go to everyone that I could have gotten consulting from.
Yeah.
Where do I find chicken fat? People are like, the Jewish store. I'm like, where the fuck is there a Jewish store in Northeast LA?
I will be honest, like I don't think I've ever been to a Jewish store. I know they exist at some point.
I know they're somewhere in the West Side.
Yeah.
They're not here. And so I'm like, okay, well, what can I substitute for chicken fat? And people are like, you can't substitute, like, whatever. So I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm not going to substitute lard or pork fat because that's not kosher.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
well, like a steak. Cut up the fucking fat and render that.
Right. Or you could use. So I was reading all these things. You just boil down the actual whole chickens in the broth, and then the fat that rises. That's enough. Schmaltz. I didn't do that. I didn't go that route. So I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I wanted to be exciting. So I got duck fat, and I was like, okay, let me substitute duck fat. Everything started going downhill. I think I didn't even follow the recipe well enough. I think I put too much duck fat. My balls weren't fluffy. They were dense.
Oh.
It was just...
You got dense balls.
I had dense balls. And they looked good. And the broth was so good. And it was disappointing that the texture of them wasn't, like, satisfying.
What are they supposed to be like?
So that's a preference thing. But
Okay.
I think traditionally, and I think the majority... I don't know, I don't get offended, Jewish people, but I think the majority of people prefer them to be, they float, so fluffy, airy, light.
Have you ever had like fish balls like that?
Like that. Exactly, like fish balls. Just don't taste fishy. But yeah, you'll love matzo ball soup if it's made well.
Okay, so not by you.
No. Go to Langer's or something.
Okay, was this the first time you've ever done it?
Second time, but I used a different recipe.
Got it.
So first time came out perfect. Not perfect, came out good because the matzo balls were bomb. Broth was mediocre. This time, broth, bomb. Because I spiced it up. But then the texture of the balls was like fucked up. So
yeah, you girls know what's up. That's bad.
You know, when the balls aren't
good. Ball texture.
Yeah. So I'm going to try again next year. We'll fix it. We'll figure
it out. So is this a yearly thing for you?
It's just a yearly thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. During Hanukkah. And then I make latkes. Latkes always come out on
We talked about this last time, too. This is like a potato thing?
Yes. Potato pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
You just grate onion, potato, another egg.
And
you
why
put
do you
some matzo in there.
why do you like celebrating the food, at least the food parts of Hanukkah and
food in general? It gives me like an excuse. It's not even like a religious like aspect for me. You learn that aspect as you were doing it because people will start talking about it, or you'll learn things anyway in that process. But mostly it's been in the last few years, maybe 3-4 years. My daughter school, who observes all the Jewish holidays, but it's still it's still in Northeast LA, and it's still an LAUSD school, but I think they get a certain say in what they choose. I don't know, but they do. And then a lot of her classmates, who she's been classmates for like the last 4 or 5 years of her life as at school, her very short 9-year-old life, they're Jewish. So I think they talk. They have lunchtime together. They sit in the classes together, and they always have. And they, I guess, share food sometimes, and it's not. It's against school policy. I'm sorry, they're not supposed to. Yeah, because of allergies, food allergies and shit. But they do it anyway.
I know. Well,
so
that makes more sense. I remember when I was a kid, there was none of those policies.
Hell no.
I'm like, bitch, what the fuck is that? They're like, oh, this is my mom made the thing, and I'm like, oh, give me that. I'll give you some of this.
I ate school lunch, so like my kid will never know the joy of like chalupa day or the chocolate chip cookies that were baked on
My
premise.
favorite. What are you?
Like,
One of your favorite. One of my favorite things for school lunch where they had chicken nuggets, not the fried ones, but like the teriyaki chicken
I
nuggets.
loved so much because that's all I ate.
Yeah.
I never had a packed lunch till I was maybe a senior.
Every once in a while I got one, but no,
Mm-mm,
mostly
no.
yeah, they paid for it.
And the peanut butter jelly sandwiches, pizza, some like
Breakfast
They were-
pizzas were good.
I loved so many school things, but I feel like it was better then than it is now. Like
I
it's
haven't tried it
degraded.
recently,
I
so I don't know.
haven't, but I read the calendar and I'm like,
What the
oh,
fuck is that?
like why are you guys having burger and I don't know. It sounds gross now.
yeah.
But back to the grossest thing that I
Yes.
feel like it was so satisfying. So what I would do was get a Kraft singles cheese slice, open it up and put it on one slice of Wonder Bread, just out of the bag, so soft and like whatever. And when you're 8, you're not coming home and you're washing your hands or anything. Like, ew, you've been in school all day and you're 8. Well, I would have this slice, and I would proceed to rolling it into a ball and then eating it.
Okay.
That's so gross to me now.
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
okay, that's not like cooking
ew.
though either.
But I was 8. I didn't know how to use fire. Can you
Yeah.
imagine if I fucking pan fried that cheese ball?
That sounds amazing. Pan fried cheese ball.
Fuck.
Boom. I'm pretty sure they sell that at fucking
I
fine
want-
dining places.
God damn it. I could have been someone right now.
Okay, so this is gonna be something a little bit different.
All right, let's do it.
We are going to. Oops, sorry. We are going to actually take a quick break, and the reason for that
Tell me.
is that I actually have to pee so fucking bad.
All right.
And but but the thing is, I need to actually figure where is it? I thought I had a thing here
What
that
is
I
it?
don't like. Oh no, I had a song that I wanted to put on. So like while you took the break, I can actually just play the song. God damn it! All right, I'm gonna have to figure this out at some point right now. But I mean, let's after this we're gonna get into some whatchamacallit. We're gonna talk just about stories and shit like that.
Okay.
Cool. So give me X amount of time while I pretty much blabber. I'm just gonna like rattle on about this stuff
Okay.
because I have to actually pull up all this stuff. There we go. Oh, hey, there's one thing. Cool. No, I don't know. What am I hearing right now? I don't know. Sounds very cool.
I know. I like it.
Ooh, that is exactly what I want. All right, perfect. So I'm going to play this song real quick and then mute the mics while I use the restroom real quick. We're going to take a quick break. Love you. Thank you. Bye. back. So that was actually the track Freeze from Dawn Fades. I got to be able to, we're lucky enough to be able to play that because they sent that over for a little promo. So if you like that, check them out at Dawn Fades on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. They are actually label mates to one of the guests that we've had on the show and friends of the show, Solar Haze. So if you like that music, of course, check them out. And check out Solar Haze, of course. And we are back. So this, we were saying this off camera, off mic, I guess. But yeah, it's when there's only two of you, like it's really hard to just be like, all right, I have to go pee. Talk to the people.
I know. Even I was like,
What do I
okay.
do? Yeah. So that's how I'm like, it's perfect with 3 to 4 people. Like you're just like, all right, I gotta pee. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, it makes
I'll be right
sense.
back.
Yeah.
And you can take turns and blah blah blah. And we used to do that, and so now we have
next time.
Now we can take a little break in the middle, but we have now switched it up since we finished our drinks. We are trying something brand new that I have not tried before. This is a new, but I saw it in the store, a new Belgian Oakspire Bourbon Barrel Ale. It's not an IPA. It's not. It's an ale that's just bourbon barreled. Special release, smooth notes of toffee, vanilla, and caramel. And it's by New Belgium with a collaboration with Knob Creek Whiskey. Have you ever had that?
Everything you mentioned, or one of the two?
Any
I've
of the things.
Definitely have had the Knob Creek.
Oh, good. That's the main thing.
Everything else, I don't know.
Okay.
This one sounds fun.
So, let's see. Let me take a little look.
Take
It
a
is
gander.
beautiful color, almost red.
It's very
Actually,
amber.
Very
Yeah.
amber, very red. I like that.
Let's put it here by the
Go for it.
here. Today, you guys, I don't have my ratchet nails. The ratchet, but they all the same length. So
Oh, good job. Good for you.
you're welcome. I did it just for Garrett.
Aww. Appreciate that. And then smells nutty and smells caramel. I'm going to let you have the first taste.
Let's see. All right. That's dangerous. There is no way.
Oh,
There is no
my.
way that's 9%.
Jesus.
This is fucking lies. This is a blasphemous beer.
This is my...
That is not.
Oh
That's
my
not
God.
real.
This is so fucking good right now.
That's not real.
I am so glad that I got this.
It's not real.
I'm glad and pissed at the same time because I didn't tell you. Let me tell you what happened.
Tell me what happened.
I went to the store and I saw this and I was like, oh, that seems interesting. So I just grabbed it. It was a 6-pack.
Okay.
I just grabbed it, paid for it with some other shit, and then put it in my car. When I got home and put it in the fridge, I found out some fucker took out 2 of these bottles and replaced them with 2 other sour beers.
Stop.
So I'm like, God, son of a bitch.
Hey, you know what? We need to find this.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how good this is. It's not a Belgian. It's not that style that I fucking love, but it's so smooth.
It's very crisp. It's very clean. It's not boozy at all.
Doesn't linger.
It's
doesn't
weird
burn.
though because I'm still like, I don't know if you guys have any word. I don't think it's 9%. I'm not tasting. I'm not
No,
tasting.
it's definitely the alcohol percentage is always in there.
Barrel in here.
No, I do. It's so good. It's
I'm not tasting
fucking
bourbon
good.
barrel or age.
No, I'm getting that.
I'm getting no age.
I'm getting those notes in there.
Getting
But the thing
teen.
is, it's so good. It's caramelly. It has some toffee, vanilla notes.
No.
But it's it doesn't taste like alcohol.
To me, it's thin,
Yes.
but I don't love it.
You don't?
I love it. Okay, look. So this is the
You
thing.
do, but you don't love it.
I think it's a very easy drinking beer.
Yes,
But-
which is dangerous.
Right. It's
If
crisp.
it is
it's
9%.
light, but it doesn't. Okay, so when I'm reading, like if I was blindfolded
Okay.
and I can drink this forever. Someone told me it's like, ooh, it's this Belgian lager something. I'd be like, bomb, give me this. But
Yeah.
then if someone told me it's a bourbon barrel aged with hints of toffee, vanilla, caramel, aromatic, amber notes.
And
And then I tasted this and I couldn't see anything. I'd be disappointed because it's so thin. It's very easy to drink. I can drink the entire 6-pack of this
I could.
and
I
then
guarantee you, I could too.
and then be trashed.
Yeah.
Maybe if it really is 9%, but
Which
I don't
I
know.
believe
It's
it is.
weird.
It's fucking delicious.
That's scary.
Okay, so I'm definitely going back to the same store, and I'm hoping that they still have this because
Alright.
I'm gonna make sure every bottle in this 6-pack
Okay.
is one of those because that's delicious.
Well, now you know.
And I think it's perfect for the season too, because IPAs and the Belgian, for this matter, are very good summer, springtime ales. They really are crisp and refreshing. But this one gives you a good amount of maltiness without being lingery. That's one thing I don't like about like dark Belgians. They do tend to linger in the malty notes, whereas like the West Coast IPAs tend to have a lingering hoppiness. I don't like anything that lingers. This is fucking good though, and 9%. I love it. I'm in. And on that note, you ready to get into some movie news? You like the song, by the way?
I do. I'm vibing to it. It's very like good vibes.
This is from Still Corners. It's called The Trip.
Like sexy sunset vibes.
All right, I like it too.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, I'm glad that it's dying down too, because we're about to jump into stories.
All right. Oh, and I finally saw Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh, good. We'll talk about that right now.
Sweet bitches. I may have some news for you. Go ahead.
Entertainment news, everybody. This just broke out.
That is a scientific fact, huh?
I'm not gonna get to this story. I have a question for you. News story that'll make you guys a little bit tingly in the fans. Okay, we need to move on from that. I need to get away from that real quick.
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears.
I wish I could do that.
Oh, you've never done that?
No, I'm like Coco. Have you seen the little kid when the kid
Little
tries
kid?
to?
Yeah.
That's me.
Oh,
I know,
good.
sad.
No, that's something that my family has been blessed in our vocal cords. We can do some random
Don't
shit.
mind me. I'm just gonna finish the rest of this.
I'm
beer.
glad I
don't
brought more
will.
beers. All right, next we have some St. Archer Mosaic IPAs.
I'm
also
excited
very
about.
good.
I love Mosaic hops.
So do I. That's one of my favorite.
Cascade
also
and
with
Mosaic are
Cascade,
yum yum
Mosaic,
yum. Juicy, tropical, bright.
Fuck yes, I agree with you on all that. Ricky too. Rest in peace, Ricky C.
Okay, is Ricky really dead? Or no one knows
Unfortunately, no one can be told
the truth about Ricky?
where Ricky is.
Shit.
But
All right, well,
I'll tell you this: occasionally we can summon him back to the show.
I don't care to. I don't like that Ouija board voodoo shit.
I will show you some. I will show you last week's episode so you can see.
No.
You can see Ricky. See, he's here.
Oh, no.
We summoned him back.
No. Here, let's just watch some trailers instead.
All right. Well, going into movie news, we did watch a bunch of trailers that we'll talk about later. But first off, I will tell you right now. Well, actually, no. We'll start with you. You just saw Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I did.
And what did you think about that?
I thought it was all right.
That's something that I saw too. You saw it just all right, correct?
Yep.
All right. Tell us about that. Why?
I liked the first one a lot. It was adorable. I thought this one was really cute too.
Adorbs. Got it.
It was cute.
Mm-hmm.
There was too much. I felt like they kept rerunning. Like, then Ralph was, I don't know what happened with the character.
And we're not spoiling
development.
anything, by the way.
Okay.
I feel like I need to tell you because you're okay with spoilers.
Yeah.
The rest of the world is not.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say without spoiling it.
Okay, but so what feels did you feel that you didn't like,
I
or
didn't like
you didn't like
the
certain
development.
beats?
I didn't like the development of the characters because
Okay.
I am used to. Okay, so this is what happened when I did watch. You know what the best part of the Ralph Breaks the Internet movie was? The popcorn, because now there's popcorn that's half caramel and half cheddar. But
Popcorn at the movie theater?
yeah.
Okay.
But and then there's also spicy jalapeno, but they were out, so you can get spicy cheddar and caramel together, but
Okay.
separate, but in the same box.
Did you ever mix them
Yes.
in your mouth?
Yes.
How did that taste?
Amazing.
Okay.
It's the Chicago style.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah.
I've done that before,
Yum, yum,
and
yum. Even if you
it's
do one,
salty, sweet.
You could do
savory,
one and
sweet.
one. Yeah, it's yum.
Okay.
The Toy Story 4 trailer was my favorite part of that movie.
Oh my god. And I actually dislike the Toy Story trailer.
Okay, and so for me, it goes back to my daughter was just fanatic about the movie. She loved it.
She
will
liked it.
continue watching
I want to
fucking
talk.
trailers.
I want to talk
about
to your
it.
daughter.
I'll bring her on the show when
Yeah,
I can.
she's gonna be on the show.
It's always a school night, but she's gonna have some days off.
Got it.
So we can.
What does she like? IPAs or barrel age?
She likes champagne. She's
Okay,
more of a
we'll do-
champagne
we'll do
drinker.
champagne. I'll bring her champagne.
She likes the nerds
I got
and the
Cobell.
champagne.
I got Cobell in the
She's not
fridge.
picky. She's
Well.
not. She doesn't even know about the brand, so you're good.
Cool.
But that was my favorite part. But it ties into why I didn't love the Wreck-It Ralph-ishness.
Yeah.
Because they're switching it up. You know, you could tell. I feel like with this one, it's like I get what's going on here. You're relating to all like this new generation, but these characters are not supposed to fucking evolve and change. Like they're not people. They're you know
No,
what I mean?
yes, that's the whole thing. Is yes, they are.
No, I need them to stay the same forever.
No.
I need them to be the first.
Okay, so the problem is more.
Once-
Okay, yeah.
And you know, like Toy Story.
Uh-huh.
So like
They
the
evolve.
Toy Story. Yeah, but as their own character.
Uh-huh.
So they're not. I don't know. Now you're like Ralph was annoying to me at some parts.
What?
He was like too clingy.
No, yeah, no. Okay, that I can understand
He
because that's
was-
part of the story.
I didn't
I mean,
like that. I
yeah,
thought like, wait, what? When did that happen? Like, so
He
Ralph's
developed
just some needy giant now. Like, I don't
I
like
wouldn't-
where this is going with
He
Ralph.
has those. That's his insecurity, and the whole thing was about insecurity.
And I feel like that's what pushed Vanellope into this whole like, I'm not spoiling things, but like a development of her own,
Yeah.
which it makes sense. Like if for me, it
Yes.
made very much sense what was going on, but I didn't want it to change. It's like, can you guys just
That's
be
the
fucking
movie.
pals, motherfuckers? Like Timon and Pumbaa, they're just gonna be Timon and Pumbaa, you know?
No.
Yes, they
They
might
change.
argue, but they will always be friends and Timon and Pumbaa. And why do you have to do this
have
to us?
characters that develop and change
Yes.
because that's the whole
No.
reason of the storytelling.
I need
Okay.
fantasy to be fantasy. I
I
need real life to
You
be
need
real
real life.
life.
Got
I
it.
need the separation.
I understand this so much more now that you're saying this. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm validated in the fact that I liked it for all the reasons that you didn't like it.
Okay.
I like that they changed the characters all develop.
Yeah.
There's differences, there's insecurities that are shown. Like and they focus on those and they try and better themselves.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a whole arc of the story and it's so fucking cool and the princesses are awesome. Did you like the princesses?
No.
What the fuck?
I didn't like that at all.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I think at that moment,
You're not human. You don't like
it was
emotion?
something. It was something. No, I did, but I think I don't know. I have this. I love animation so much, and I like
Yes.
what I like. And you know, it's weird because Doug.
Doug?
Do you remember that cartoon? With pork chop and Patty Mayonnaise
Yeah.
and it's what's his name, Skeeter.
Whatever.
So, no, that's from Muppets. That's Beaker.
No. He
Okay.
Skeeter did that fucking thing.
Okay.
He did a noise. I don't know if I'm doing the
But-
right noise, but
And
he
who
did a
was the
noise.
bully?
Roger.
So Doug was
Doug was the pinnacle of a cartoon animation.
the first cartoon that acknowledged, I think Daria too, actually, but Doug, there was an episode or several of them when they'd pan on the closet or they'd be in Doug's room or something. And the outfits, all his clothes were identical.
Yeah.
So it was like the same white shirt, the same cargo shorts, the
Same
same
vest,
and
silver vest.
I was at that moment, I was like, okay, look, yes, there's an understanding that this is irrational. Like, you can't be the same always, never age, never whatever. But for me, it's like, yes, you can. That's the magic. You know, like, that's why I love it. Like, it's so weird. Like, I don't want them to grow up. I never like those spin-offs, like, where it's like, Rugrats go to college. No, the fuck they don't. They
They're
are in
babies.
diapers.
They're motherfucking babies. That's why they're Rugrats.
They better not. Who is child trafficking these kids?
Yes.
Like, I just, do you get it?
I get it, but I don't agree with it.
No,
which,
that's fine.
Which is totally fine.
Which is cool.
Which is absolutely fine. It's
I like
was
that.
Like, wow. Okay, so that makes so much more sense then. I love, and that's the thing, and that's why
A lot of people do.
That is life. No, that's
because
life.
people that there would, if there wasn't a demand for it,
Yeah.
those things would have never been created.
Yeah.
But obviously, people are like, we're sick of this shit. We want them to grow up.
Yes.
We want them to go to
Change.
college and change, and they're like, they're doing it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
So like, so like take the Simpsons. The
Oh, I fucking love them.
Yeah, because they haven't fucking changed in
They
a decade or two. And that's the whole thing.
They
I
are
get it.
They are phenomenal.
Okay. So
They are my ones.
They're funny, and I get it because you can have those cartoons that stay the same age.
I love them.
But I appreciate characters that develop while you watch them.
You know, it's a really smart show that has a mix of two that I do like, and it's new.
I'm scared to actually ask that question now that I understand your
It's
taste.
We Bear Bears on Cartoon Network.
I don't know what that is.
My daughter watches it.
Okay. That
But
makes sense.
considering that you like things that she is very,
Have you ever seen Avatar: Last Airbender?
we're both equally obsessed.
Okay, I fucking love that. And those characters
Her
change
and
and
I-
develop.
That's different. The entire moral of this, the characters don't age.
Yeah, they do.
Well,
Grant, the whole
the
series,
entire- no,
the
the-
series takes over like 3-4 years. No, like a year actually. I think is what it was. I don't remember exact, but it like the actual series doesn't take place over a long time, so they age, but not like
not a lot,
significantly.
but they grow an immense amount.
They
and you're
learn,
right.
and I love that.
But that's the entire point of it from the beginning.
Yeah.
From the beginning, that's
like
the whole
for
point.
for Homer and Bart Simpson, they don't remember. You remember when we did this?
No.
There
Yeah.
was never one of those.
No.
Whereas like Avatar is like no.
Everything
I
leads up
encountered.
to.
Remember when we encountered that? We know better now.
But that story and those characters are so different.
The last of it, I'm gonna put IPA.
Sure. I feel like that's different, but we're both huge fans of that.
Oh, good. Okay.
Not the live action one.
No, good. Thank you. Nope. I don't know who is. Somebody
Unless,
is.
wait, but the Avatar, not the Airbender, that one's badass.
Oh, the blue people.
Yeah, the blue people is cool.
They have
They were
sequels
cool.
coming out too.
But not the live action, but the fucking cartoon is, like, it's so mature. The message in that shit is deep.
No.
But that's different. I feel like, but the Bears, so they found this like unique way
Uh-huh.
to, so there's these three bears, and it's nothing like fucking deep and metaphorical. It's like cute and funny, and the three bears are best friends. They're all boys, and the bears.
Yeah.
And what they do is they have flashbacks. So they'll have old episodes and new episodes. Say they have 4 seasons in total. I don't know how many seasons they have,
Yeah.
but I'll sit through an episode here and there when she's watching them. And every time I watched one, I'm like, this is the cutest fucking show. But I've seen the bears be older, and I've seen the bears be baby bears.
I wonder if there's flashbacks.
There's flashbacks. So that's what it is. And it's so cute. It's like, oh, remember that first day when we were out in the rain and we were trying to get adopted and like, because they're orphan bears too.
Yeah.
Like it's, and so they mastered the way of like, so they're adult bears ish, or they're young adult bears.
Yeah.
But even in new seasons, flashbacks are continuous. So there's baby bear episodes, and they are so cute.
Oh.
Yes, they're always the same though. They're always like, you knew that one, his voice changed, all of this changed, but he grew into this one, and it's kind of just like the same
Progression,
Yeah,
yeah.
but the same. Not like,
Yeah.
wait, why are you having these existential?
Okay.
Like, stop.
I get
That's
it.
too much.
You don't like jumps. You like okay, I'm going with you on this journey.
Yeah, like Avatar.
Yeah.
It's not a jump. From the jump,
Yeah.
you know, this is what this is about.
This all takes place.
And this is going to be a journey.
Yeah.
And you know. But with something else, it's like, wait a minute.
I don't like how fast we moved.
No.
Let's back
You're
it up.
not a Disney princess and doing all this. You just do not.
Maybe they are. Maybe they are, and that's the thing. And that's why that's something I do like, but I understand why you don't. Now
Okay.
I get it better. So you like to go on the journey with these characters.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why you like that. But let's just take okay, you kind of see in the trailer that the princesses from like Disney are very different than you might have thought that they would be.
Not
And
really.
You don't like it.
No. Because usually I didn't love all of them. But
Yeah.
even the ones I did love, I'm like, no. Like, because like the ones like Merida, Mulan, Pocahontas. These are all like, I don't care. But like Cinderella, all the other ones were like, you guys are classics.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you are. Like, we love you.
Mm-hmm.
But the other ones were like inspirational and new classics. They weren't, and I felt like it was so rude when it was like, oh, I'm gonna spoil things, but like their representations of them were like, okay, you guys are just okay, Disney. You're just saying like I don't know. It's not empowering these women. I feel like you're just.
I thought it was. I thought
you
it was.
did.
I think
Isla thought that part was really funny too, and she's not about like but maybe because of the generational. I don't know, like, because she also is like, I can't wait for the princess part, and I'm like, they made him also dingy.
No, here's the thing. I don't think they were dingy. I think that they were playing characters
and being themselves and being.
That's the thing. They were playing characters more so than anything. They're like, oh, we have to go do the job of the princess. Versus when you see them, and you see this in the trailer, they get more of the like, yeah, it's fucking stupid. Like, you know, everyone thinks that we have to be like saved by big strong men. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. And they're like, but we don't, obviously.
Okay, maybe I was seeing it from a total different perspective.
I think myself and your daughter would get along in the fact that, like your mom. What the fuck is she talking about right now? Like,
because
right?
I'm seeing it from like a different stance. I guess I was being judgy, you know, like I wasn't. But that makes sense because you're right. So they're being they're being sarcastic and cynical. That's why they were like, "Well, did you?" Because you're right. They do say like, "Did this happen to you? Did this?" And it's all terrible. It's not. None of it is good.
And they're like, "This is the qualifications to be a princess."
It's like you have to have the shittiest fucking life.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah, you're right. I guess okay, you're right.
They're making fun of the fact that this was the norm back in the day. They were the damsels in distress. But now that you actually can put a magnifying glass on it in this day and age in 2018,
right?
You're like, no, that's stupid. Like, yeah, it's kind of what we had to play.
Well, I also did appreciate the joke about the music, like, or singing or Disneyness, but I don't like moving away from the classicness. You see, so I think that's why I was like,
fair enough.
I was scared.
They're like, no, just go to important water.
Because I was
go
like,
to important
don't
water
kill
and
my
sing.
magic. That's like me. You know, you're giving her, you're giving her magic, but you're killing me, my magic.
I get it. I get what you're. I get
it's
what you're
just
saying.
fine.
I truly do.
My daughter and I just have to go to Disney movies separately from now, and on in the future.
Okay,
you know?
so you grew up and you're a Disney kid.
With
you love,
I had Alice in Wonderland.
Have you ever had a pass, a Disney
daily? No.
That's surprising to me, actually, because I remember I did for years.
No.
And they just got super expensive, and nobody else wanted to go with me.
But I can tell you that if you do now, like everyone's just waiting. My sister, my niece, my nephew's ex-girlfriend, everyone I know. My best friend Chloe, who I've been friends with since like I was 11 in middle school. Mm-hmm. She has everybody I know has an annual pass. I don't, because two people that I'm very close with work there. Okay. So the times that I do,
you get a little,
I'm encouraged.
Little bit of that.
They could maybe let me in,
but
I'm not one. Even with Isla, I'm like, I'm a max. I'm like, I'll go to Disneyland once a year. That's it. I'm done. I get it. It's fun. It's cute. Like, there's so much stuff to. Like, I think now
I'm a person that if I have a pass, I will go 5 to 6 times a year.
But I've never had a fucking pass, so I feel like if I had a pass, I feel like if I had a pass, I'd go like every month.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
And that's the thing. It's like
encourage me to get a pass, and then we can just go and hang out. We could do like a.
We'll get one. After the show, I'll encourage you. Let's get back on track real quick, all right? Okay. Cool. So we already talked about Ralph Breaks the Internet, and that's number 1 again for the 3rd week in a row since it's been out to be top the number 1 spot. I think will change after this week. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
I agree.
Number 2, you get Dr. Seuss's The Grinch in its 5th week even, so that's amazing.
Ooh. I really want to see that.
We're getting closer and closer to Christmas, so I think that's going to be holding on strong for a while. Number 3, Creed 2. I still haven't seen it because I want to rewatch the first Creed before I go check it out, but I've heard great things. Number 4, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. I hated it, pretty much. I was so disappointed. Did you see it yet?
No.
I was so. We talked about this.
But I read this
screenplay
for Fantastic Beasts.
My entire family, we're all huge Harry Potter fans.
As
and this is so disappointing because we're watching it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I heard mixed things about too much going on.
As a fan, I'm just like, why are you doing this to me? It doesn't capture the magic, and there's too much convoluted shit going on. Number 5, Bohemian Rhapsody. I got to see finally. because
Tell me how it was.
it was really good.
Good. Okay. I'll see it once it comes out on Netflix.
I was very impressed with everything. In the very beginning, I was like, okay, I feel like things are moving pretty fast. It's kind of weird. But then after you get past that, it's pretty good. You like this?
I love it.
So this is one of my favorites now. It's a single IPA, which is different for me. I usually like Imperials and doubles and triples.
No, or like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're smoother. But this is so smooth. It's a St. Archer Mosaic IPA in the green can.
The can is so cute.
It is very cute.
Look, it matches this one.
Oh, how cute! Look cute. It's not. This is also 9%. So if you haven't caught on to my trend, I don't like to drink anything under really 6%.
Jesus Christ.
This is my thing.
I think it's scary when you drink this and you're like, this is not 9%.
That's my favorite type of thing. It's drinkable and it's also highly alcoholic.
Are we listening to Alanis Morissette?
No, this is Zombie by the Cranberries.
Oh, you're right.
Zombie, zombie, zombie.
So I have to tell you this other
yeah.
thing really quickly.
Go.
My daughter and I have been binging on 90s bangers. But
that's awesome.
3 genres.
Yes, go.
We've done the alternative, hip hop, and
Name
pop.
some. Name some, please.
Oh my goodness!
Okay, 'cause I told you.
I mean, we've hear it all the time.
Yes.
She had never heard that something orca. Dun, 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 dun,
ELO?
Dun, dun, dun. It's the Bittersweet Orchestra.
Oh,
or
wait, no, Bittersweet
Symphony.
Symphony.
Yeah. That shit. She
Got it.
hadn't heard Sublime.
Oh my fuck!
She had
can
never
I just
heard.
give you my iPod?
She had no. That's what I'm saying. So
Yes.
like that's mine also.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But like, she hadn't like, and so I didn't let her hear this. I smell sex and I didn't. I thought that was too mature for her. But that's a classic. But like,
we're going.
there was
switching this up after Zombie.
there was some Cranberries. There was
Yes.
There was Evergreen. There was Father of Mine.
Yes.
That guy. There was Weezer. There was 311. There was so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in the hip hop stuff, like Salt and Pepper, there was
Yes.
there were so many
Push it.
bangers. Yes.
Okay,
No, and then so this was what stuck.
Yes.
Not just cute and eclectic. We heard Coolio's Gangster's Paradise.
Oh, nice.
But then her dad showed her Amish.
Amish Paradise. Yes.
We heard Amish Paradise like 14 times in the last week.
I actually heard that before Gangster's Paradise, and I like it better.
She
I
loves
loved
Amish Paradise.
Yes.
Loves it.
Yes.
Please, you guys are gonna be like fucking BFFs. I swear to God, she loves it. Like
Hey,
she
me and
knows
your
about
9-year-old daughter
She
were like
knows.
this now.
She knows the parts about fucking churning butter and
Yes.
shit. Like and the basic wife and like shit. I'm like, oh, you're so cute. When I take her to school in the morning, it's like, what are we listening to? Come hear some Amish Paradise. I'm like,
Let me get some of that. Some of
who's-
that Weird Al Yankovic.
who's cute are you? Like, she's so cute.
Aw.
But we all appreciate that kind of like cynical, ironic comedy because I'm obsessed with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
Bora is one of my favorite characters in like in the
absolutely.
world, and people have been telling me to watch This Is America.
The
I don't know
music
what
video?
No, it's
Oh, no,
that
no,
shit
it's-
is bomb.
just kidding.
It's
Sorry.
the Sacha Baron
Yes,
Cohen's
his new show.
Yeah,
I forgot about that actually. We
I
covered
haven't
some
seen
of
it.
this.
Let's watch it next time.
Yeah, so there's been he basically he puts on prosthetics.
Yes.
He does characters.
Yes, and he goes and pushes people's buttons and
exactly.
politically.
But they do it.
It's
And he-
beautiful.
like, there
I
was-
watched one little like short
Snippet. Yeah.
snippet. My cousin played for me, and I'm like,
Oh my god.
and it was actually no, it wasn't my cousin. It was fucking on the Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yes.
And Borat resurfaced, and he went out trying to sabotage the midterm elections in favor of Trump. I know we don't get political, but this is funny. Like, I'm not even
Yeah,
getting.
no, I
He
get it.
goes,
Like,
"Oh
at
my
this-
god, it was
at this point,
fucking
it doesn't-
hilarious!" Like, Borat's over there talking to people. Like, he's saying it's so funny because he's talking to like this doctor, and he's like, the fake news is saying that Donald Trump is not a liar, and then like this doctor man is like, no, I think the fake news is saying he is a liar.
Yeah.
And he's like, but what's wrong with that? Or like, what's wrong with being racist? I'm a racist, and that's what Borat says. And the doctor's like, well, it's not politically correct. He's like, why? It's like classic Borat, and it's so good.
He's like, but the Jews, they're not good.
He's
They're,
like, yes,
they're demons.
Yes.
And
Or
then
like
he's-
he knocks people's doors. He's like, is there anybody here who can make a decision? Because it's women opening the door. And then she's like, well, me, I'm the owner of this house. What?
No, the man.
Is there any men in here?
Where is the man?
I love it. Oh my God, I didn't know you could do the greatest impersonations.
One of my things, like I was actually,
I'm a little bit obsessed with that.
my
So
brother
you
is
need
so
to
good at voices,
you need
and then
to
I was
talk
just like, yeah, I love
Borat.
doing voices.
You need, please. So for the rest of the show,
Like,
can
what
you be
what is this? That's cheese.
Oh, shit.
Okay. And
Speaking of
then,
cheese, I have cheese in my car.
And what is this? Why didn't you bring us cheese?
You don't want this at this point.
I might.
It's like 5 hours in there. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
You underestimate my like of cheese, woman. Bring me cheese. Going down the line, though. So, yes, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's really good. So obviously, I wasn't really alive in Queen. Queen and Freddie Mercury's
let's go
heyday.
back. You weren't really alive, but were you
like-
kind of
I
alive?
was a little.
Was there some life?
I don't know the lifespan of semen.
He wasn't
but I was.
really?
I might have been swimming around.
But he was.
Yeah. But no. So I was born in 1990.
Sorry, you guys. I'm just sweating.
It's okay. When were you born?
I was in 87.
87. I'm in 1990, and so like Queen was still around, but like with Freddie Mercury, I'm talking about, obviously. But it wasn't something I grew up with, and so when I grew up, I started hearing their music. My mother is a huge Queen fan.
Really?
Huge Queen fan. And so
Damn.
she sort of
Is your
introduced me-
mama a first generation Mexican American?
No, neither of my parents are.
So she is like she's still like an immigrant turned citizen type thing.
She was born here. No.
Wait, so that is first generation Mexican American.
First generation is the first generation born here. She's like third generation born here.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. That's
what I'm
what I
saying.
meant.
Yeah,
I
so-
meant in the other like backtrack.
Oh,
no wonder.
My great grandmother is the one that immigrated, and then her daughter, my grandmother, was born in Texas, and then my mother was born here in California.
Gotcha. That makes so much sense because I was like, fuck. I wish my mom knew about
No,
Queen.
here's the thing.
I'm the first generation.
This is the thing. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
For my parents, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
See, I never got to learn Spanish very well. I know the most Spanish out of anyone in my generation.
Your
in my family.
articulation of it is phenomenal, first of all.
That's because I grew up with those people, not in my fucking family,
And because
but
you're
everyone
multicultural,
else.
too. I
Yeah.
feel like when you know a dialect, two different languages, I feel like your ability to articulate certain sounds becomes better. For me, I was in ESL classes until I was in second grade.
Okay.
So
But that
I'm a
makes more
native
sense.
Spanish speaker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your first
So
language
like my
was
first
Spanish.
language is Spanish, and I had to learn English, but that was so easy.
Yeah.
You know, especially like.
But as an English
being
speaker
immersed.
trying to do anything else, it's harder. Majority for me is because I'm like, yeah, my parents are so fucking lazy. They do not teach us anything. I'm like,
You
literally,
know that it
I remember
isn't
being-
that. You know what I've found to be true?
What is
it's
true?
you. It's the kids. It's because
Where do I find a place to learn those?
it's not that. It's situation. So it's not a place. It's like your surroundings. But even still, so my daughter,
Yeah.
say like the first 4 years
Does
of
she
her
speak
life,
anything else?
she speaks Spanish.
A little bit or a
She-
good amount?
Oh, a great amount. She will understand all of the things you're telling her. But then when it comes to like Croatian or French or something else,
Also, is she mixed? She's mixed,
she's
right?
very mixed.
What is her
She is
background, if I could ask?
She is Native American, Mexican, Croatian, and either Scottish or Irish. One of those two. It's either Scottish or it's either Irish.
Okay,
They
cool.
haven't defined which of the two ends. But Native American, Mexican, and Croatian,
Okay.
without a doubt. And then but I speak 3 languages. So I've tried to instill them
What are those?
Spanish, English, and French.
Oh, that's right.
And so then I try. She gets interested in them, and they go through waves. Her dad's doesn't speak Croatian, but he knows like the rudimentary shit. Like, so he knows like all the basics. He knows how to count 1 to 10. He knows how to say hi, goodbye, all the bad words, things like that, you know?
As most people learn the first
Right.
thing. Yeah.
That's essential.
Yeah.
But she, like, so she'll try to pick it up. Doesn't get it. Spanish, it's for sure, though. Like, but then when I watch her, and sometimes I try to push myself, and it's my fault, too. So it is your parents, but it's you guys. It's like so we can be in, like, a group setting, and I'll forget to try to speak Spanish to her, but my dad is speaking to her.
That's good.
And no, but in this situation, and then she'll ask me, or she'll say, like, what's this? Or what is grandpa asking me? And I'll say, like, translate it. I'm pretty sure you know how to. But I'm telling her this in English. And the fact that I'm, like, engaging or starting the conversation in English, encourages her to continue it in Spanish. So I feel like, yes, I contribute to you not wanting to speak more Spanish. But at the same time, I feel like they're pulled to, like, their safeness. Like, they don't want to go through the trouble of translating. They don't want to figure it out. They don't want, like, you know?
I'm okay, so I agree and disagree at the same time. So
Good.
I have a cousin.
Okay.
He just turned 8.
Okay.
He probably speaks more Spanish and German than I do. He is trilingual, and he grew up with a German father and a Hispanic mother.
That is so cute.
But
so he says 9.
I don't know if I've
That
ever
means
heard him.
no.
Yeah, I know what it means. I don't know if I've ever heard him say it, but I know that I've heard him understand and speak German, and same with Spanish. And he does it so seamlessly that I'm like, okay, what's the difference between your upbringing, where you've gotten all this, where everyone else in my generation. Okay, so in my generation, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8 kids. In my generation, none of us can check the mark as bilingual. I am the one that speaks the most Spanish of anyone else.
There's something. It has
But
to
none of us have been taught this, and none of
You
us
guys
really have been exposed to it.
Your viewers should give some input, because
Yeah.
I agree. So I said I'm first generation,
Yeah.
but I'm the only kid with my 2 parents. But my half siblings were born in Mexico.
Okay.
If me and my half siblings being born like Mexico natives, obviously Spanish speaking, but we share that in common. But I was born here, and I was just first language Spanish, clearly because my parents were, you know. But if you sat all of us down and you had us take a literacy test or some Spanish translation thing, I can guarantee you that I have the best, like, translative ability out of all of them. And that was their first language. And their kids, which would be you,
Hi.
their fucking Spanish is hilarious. Like, I don't even know how to, like, my nephews, I love these kids. They understand everything that you're saying. Like, grandma's talking, they're like, we know what you're saying, grandma. Or they'll, like, get by.
Nintendo,
Yeah.
abuelita.
And everything's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like,
Nintendo.
It's very everything's Nintendo.
Nintendo, abuelita.
But it's so cute. And the abuelita also knows, like, ay, fucking pendejo. Like, you don't. But they're the same. Like, and my niece and nephews, they're like 23, 22, 24. They're in the, I don't know what it is, but it's the same. Because they're also like, we've never had a conversation in Spanish. And me and my cousin Brianna, we're like sisters. We speak in Spanish to each other all the time. Yeah. Like, sometimes we straight up just fucking sit down and speak in Spanish. You know, like, that's our.
And I think that's the thing that my generation of my family has lacked, is that nobody has ever conversed with us.
I do
Spanish.
that with Isla too, though. Yeah. So I feel like I need to do it more now that you're bringing this up, because we don't do it often.
Yeah,
but sometimes
English
we do.
English is every day, and this is what I also find funny. Funny and weird. I don't understand what it is exactly. In English, I've been in honors English for a majority of my educational career.
I believe that.
But
I can't see why not. Like,
as far as Spanish goes, nobody's spoken to me in Spanish in a way that I feel like I need to develop it. So it's like it's strictly something that I would have as a.
So are you saying that our family enables us? This is where I'm going.
Yeah, this is exactly
where
what I'm trying to
we're
say.
agreeing
I'm
that
agreeing.
they enable and they say, "Oh, you get what I'm saying."
Yeah.
So we're not trying to correct you.
Yeah.
We're not trying. But then that goes both ways because think about our parents. Like me, your parents not the same. My mom, she's been in this country for over 30 years.
Yes.
How in the fuck do you not know these basic ass, like, I know you know, woman. Like, I know. And she's like, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like, you have to understand.
You've been here for long enough.
You need, how?
Yes.
Like, even I work in an Armenian restaurant for fucking 6 months. I already know, like, si rumem kes inch peses. Like,
Yeah,
I know these
yeah.
words.
Up-ed.
Up-ed.
Up a John.
Jana. But these
Yeah,
parents,
and
it's like, you're here for 3 motherfucking decades, and you're telling me you don't know what I'm saying. You don't understand. I think they're full of shit. I think they're so full of shit.
I agree with you. And here's what it is.
They're just afraid to alliterate.
Older generations are afraid to learn new stuff.
Yeah, and they're
I
also afraid
want-
to be corrected or misunderstood.
Yes.
But you have to try, and you're going to be
Exactly.
understood.
I want to learn new things, but older generations won't fucking tell me.
They're
At least
they're
in my
sneaky
experience.
fox, man.
They're like, we know what we know, and we're not going to tell you.
You gonna find out your own self.
and then for that, they're like, oh, I don't know how to do this. So the reason they do that though is so they don't get the blame. They're like,
Dude,
they're like,
I don't fall for that shit.
They're like,
My
"Can
mom's
you-
like, Rossyo, my phone?
do
help
the
me."
thing. Yeah, they're like, do the thing.
And I'm like,
bitch, you know how to do it.
Bitch, you know.
You know how to do it.
You do it. I'm not doing it.
No, and that's
She's
the
so
thing.
cute though
Okay, so
when she does
this is-
things like that.
It's funny. My auntie. This is my Asian side. My auntie.
Obviously.
Yeah, she's like, hey, you should help your grandmother. I'm like, why? What happened with my grandmother? Like, she doesn't like her smartphone, and so she won't use it. I'm like, that's not me helping her. That's her choosing not to understand
You
how
should
the fuck
help
shit
your
works.
you should help your grandma like her smartphone.
Yes, exactly.
Dude, you don't understand. When my mom first got Facebook, when I just watched Narcos and we talked about this,
You know.
I posted some shit like, but she just got Facebook. I didn't just get Facebook. So she's so she's reading my post. This is years ago, and it was like when they captured El Chapo. And I remember I'm like, oh damn, they got him.
Spoiler.
And I was like, it was just a joke. My mom, dead ass, posts, Rossyo, you don't talk about these things in public. Take this post off in public. Like and I'm like, oh my God. I'm just going to leave this here and let my friends laugh. And I didn't even want to respond because I knew that would trigger her.
Yeah.
So then after, like when I do see her, she's like, take that post down. Don't talk about like things like that. I'm like, Mom, oh my God, this is social. Like, you are crazy. Like, if you think, she's like, no, shit comes down. You get targeted, cyberbullying.
Which actually, she's right. But
Are you sure?
No, here's the thing. She's right.
Mine was
From a
not even like,
sense.
I was not putting any
No, not from-
facts. It
no.
wasn't even like a stance. It was like,
Because I understand her upbringing.
it was, me too. And
that's
that's why I laughed.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh wait, no, she knows. She's
No,
like,
she
like,
knows
Mija,
something
Mija,
that
no,
isn't-
they're gonna fucking come in and kill you right now.
But, and then I'm
Like,
like,
in her
this
head, she
isn't
probably thought
our
about that.
life. That's not how it is.
But that's what she brought.
And
She
also-
grew up that way.
She did. I know. But I'm like, oh my God. Like, you guys can't. Or she'll like till this day be like, do you see that wonderful picture of your daughter on Facebook? I'm like, the one I posted? Yeah, I saw it, Mom. I posted it.
I put it up there. I put it
Yo, you did? Well, it was cute. Where were you guys? How come I'm like, oh my God, the location, everything's on there. Like,
there. It says over there, like this.
No.
We're right there with this
She-
people. With the people, it
my
tags it.
fucking
Everything.
daughter got her a Snapchat, and she's been requesting my location.
Uh-huh.
I'm 99% sure it's an accident. But the fact that she keeps doing it, I'm like, first of all, even if we didn't share a Snapchat, I'd never share my location with you.
Yeah.
Second of all, stop requesting me to share my location with you. Stop trolling my Snapchat. Like, grandmas should not have Snapchat. She's so cute, though. And she'll see my story, like, first before anything. It's like, Rossyo, don't put pictures of that cousin because, you know, their mom's a bitch. She's going to say something. I'm like, Mom.
I love that there's always these
their
families,
bitch-ass
dude.
mom is not even on my Snapchat like you.
But you know what's funny, though?
Get off.
I've encountered. Okay, so I've not experienced this in my generation.
Oh, but
in
you
the
know those
old-
bitches.
Yes. So I've known families. I'm not gonna say name names.
Don't
but
name names.
I'm not naming any names, but I've known families with like, oh no, like my tia. My tia is the meanest chismosa.
Oh, Maria's coming.
Like don't talk to her. Like I would get friend requests from people I know. No, but like relatives.
I
of
get
people-
friend
No,
requests from relatives I don't know.
No, relatives of people I know. But and I asked this person, I'm like, should I add this person? Because I know them, because I met them once.
No, that's some weird
No,
shit.
and then they're like, no. She reports to so and so. Do not add her. She will fucking just scour through your feedback and start talking to familia. So that's the fucking funniest thing. It's so weird. So, because like in my generation, at least, we don't really have that. We all have a pretty open forum with each other for the most part.
That's awesome. As it should be. You know,
Yeah.
like we have same with us. Like
Yeah.
the immediate family, everybody is kind of like we're the same. We'll like talk shit about other people, like to an extent, not like truth, like something that's going to like hurt people, but like we'll just be like, no. Don't feed into the chisme or don't do that or relax or like, but the immediate side is very confined to like just very specific people. Yeah. The rest of them, it's like, oh my God.
I know.
I don't want to talk to them.
It's weird watching my family
Yeah.
interact at social gatherings. So like,
Oh
usually
my
it's funerals
goodness.
or weddings or you know what I mean?
Those are so
Like just
dirty.
those, and then they all start talking, and I'm like, what is going on right now? They turn into 16-year-olds. I swear to God. I feel like they turn into 16-year-olds that are all talking about each other and shit that they did when they were in teenagers.
I love that.
And I'm like, this is like 40, 50-year-old people
you know-
talking to each other right now.
That's what my cousin and I, the one that I tell you we talk in Spanish to each other.
Yeah.
She should come on here one day. She, I'll show you her in a little bit. We have these conversations all the time. Like, remember when I stole your mom's car?
Yeah.
Because you told me that you could just open it, like, or turn it on
yeah.
like this. And so I stole it. You know, I went down the street. It was my first time driving. It was trash day the next morning. So I just went down Yosemite Drive and boom, 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 boom. Every trash can on the street is falling over. And then we lied to your mom and we told her when she called at 7 a.m. to our house, because my cousin was with me. Her mom was not with us.
Yeah.
And so her mom called. It's like, can I talk to your dad? Rossyo. This is landline time, okay? And I'm like, yeah, Aunt. What's going on? Like, what y'all need to talk about this early? And she's like, well, I just need him to give me a ride to the police station because someone stole my car. I'm like, no. And they found it? Yeah. And she's like, and so I was wondering if can you wake him up? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Where'd they find it? Well, they found it here. And she's telling me, and I'm like, that's not where we left it. So someone else stole it after us.
Good.
Good and bad. I would never felt not bad about it, but I always felt like, yes, thank you, God. Because that would have been too obvious. Like, why was it in front of your friend's house?
Yeah, that's weird. That's so weird. I don't understand why that would be a thing.
Jesus is real. Like, there's
Yes, he's like, you know what? Let me move this car. Let me have somebody else steal this car.
Let me just shine the light on this car. Bring some other ghetto gangsters.
Adios, míos. All right,
All right,
moving on real quick.
Let's move on.
Yes, please. All right. We have some movies coming out this weekend, finally, because we've had a good straight few weeks where nothing really big has been coming out. But this weekend, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I am so excited, and I guarantee you I will see this weekend because it looks amazing. Have you seen the trailers for this?
Is this a teen one?
This is the one where it's animated. You have Miles
Yes.
Morales.
Super cute with the pig.
Yes, and the spider pig.
Yes.
Spider hand. Is Peter?
Spider pig.
No, it's not. Okay. What is it? It's
Ham-Man?
Peter
Porker.
Peter Porker. That's what it is. Yes, exactly. Miles Morales and a bunch of stuff. It has to do with basically a bunch of different dimensions that have a
that's
bunch
so
of
cool.
different spider people.
And what are the different dimensions or whatever?
It's not listed fully, but in the trailers you would get
Like,
you get Peter Parker,
not reality.
the original. No,
Fantasy.
yeah, exactly. But you still get original Peter Parker, Miles Morales.
That is so cute.
You have a noir Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen.
What's the? I saw that.
as well as Peter Porker.
What's the noir one?
Nick,
Is he just dark?
It's played by Nick Cage, but it's an Elseworld sort of thing where if Spider-Man was in like a sort of I want to say 40s era.
Oh,
And
cute.
yeah, so he has like a trench coat and like other shit like that.
Okay.
Very dark.
I won't do mine.
It looks really good. I've heard really good reviews and I want to see it so bad.
Okay.
Also, you have Deadpool 2 PG-13 release. What?
We talked about this last time.
Yes.
I'm
exactly.
taking Isla to see this.
So now,
Like, without a doubt.
exactly, you have the filter of a PG-13 rating on a telling of Deadpool with Deadpool's consent, I guess. Like he kidnapped Fred Savage, and he's doing a very much of a Princess Bride sort of thing.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, for that trailer looked verbatim.
Yeah.
Like, that was him 20 years later.
Exactly.
Whatever.
That's the whole thing.
30 years later.
He took pop culture.
It was beautiful.
He took pop culture. He's
Isla
like,
loves
boom.
fucking Princess Bride. So I was
Oh,
like,
does she?
come on, we'll take
She'll
you
love
to.
this.
No, when she saw the trailer, she's like, this looks really familiar. I was like, yeah, it has a lot of the Princess Bride. And she's like, oh my God. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. The
Have you
story.
Have you seen Deadpool 2, the first one, the original?
No.
The rated R?
So I
Interesting.
saw the first
Deadpool.
and then I didn't see the second one.
Okay, so I'm actually kind of curious to see what you would think of the PG-13.
I want to see that first, and then I
And
feel like
then
I
see
will
that
see.
rated
Yeah,
R.
yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
think I'll do that.
That would be interesting because
Okay,
you'll
you'll get my feedback after.
I love Deadpool 2, but I want to see this now. Then you
You'll
have
like it.
the
This shit looks hilarious.
Yeah. Then you have The Mule, which is going to be a new Clint Eastwood movie directed.
I love him.
Directed and starring Clint Eastwood with you have Bradley Cooper. You have Tissa Farmiga, Michael Pena, this old gentleman who essentially is being a drug mule for money for his family because he's pretty much kind of an asshole to his family,
Oh no.
but he needs to get money, so he is running drugs. And last but not, I'm going to say this least actually. Mortal Engines looks like it's going to eat a fat donkey dick.
It looks terrible. What's that about?
Oh my god. Okay, so in a post-apocalyptic world where cities ride on wheels and consume each other to survive, two people meet in London and try to stop a conspiracy. It is directed by Christian Rivers, produced by the guy that does fucking Lord of the Rings,
Ooh.
Michael not
Michael Jackson.
Peter Jackson. And it stars Hera Hillmore, Hugo Weaving, and other people you've never heard of. Looks fucking horrible. Like I
skip that one.
It's hard for me to have seen a trailer that I'm like, oh, that looks bad.
Garrett,
But this is
don't
the worst
talk about
thing.
that one
It looks
anymore.
real bad.
Don't-
Like real bad.
Let's skip that one.
All right, we're going forward now to a trailer.
Yes.
Glass. So you have confessed to me that you haven't seen Unbreakable.
Which is a fact. I have not seen Unbreakable, but I have seen Split.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so now
And then I saw that, and I was immediately. So I saw it twice.
good.
But immediately enthralled. I was like, this is fucking psychotic. This is fucking beautiful. That guy's fucking performance
Oh.
was magical. I was like, yes. He manifested
James McAvoy.
that fucking crazy motherfucker. Like, it was beautiful.
James
It was
McAvoy.
beautiful. The kid, the fucking turtleneck lady,
Yeah.
everything. I was in love.
And this is a sequel to both Unbreakable
Which is so weird.
and
So
Split.
and I promised you tonight
Yes.
So I vow that the next time I'm on this, which
Yeah.
I hope is soon,
Uh-huh.
I will have already watched Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will-
Because I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I'll remind you. I'll be like, you should be checking out Unbreakable.
Please.
Have you seen it yet? No? Check it out.
You don't have to. I promise. Like I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Because that was also really good.
Is it on
um,
Netflix or what is it on?
I don't know where it's at
We'll
right now.
find
I
out.
haven't
We'll
seen
find
it
out.
recently.
Okay.
But Glass is just dropped a brand new trailer, and it looks amazing. I can't wait for this to come
Let's
out.
watch it.
We already watched it.
Did we watch both of them though?
Oh, trailers?
Yes.
There. I showed you one. There are more.
Okay.
We will watch
No,
more
that's fine.
after
That's
the
fine.
show.
Yeah,
We'll
that
watch
sounds
more
fine.
if you feel like it.
But it was so good. It looked so entertaining.
So I would say if you're a fan of any of the things that you've seen prior with either Split or Unbreakable, this looks very good, and as well as it's kind of entering into the whole superhero genre too. Going forward, we have a brand new trailer for Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and this motherfucker is so action packed. Like it like the last trailers we got were just like regular whatevers, like pretty. There's more monsters. This is all action. This is all the monsters are gonna fight.
Yes, this is true. But I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. So I saw a lot of foggy ass scenes.
Yeah.
I didn't see detail. I didn't see scales. I didn't see.
There's a lot of
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're seeing something at this scale and you're like, fuck, yes, let me see this pterodactyl flying in a smoky cloud of something. I don't just want to see a smoky cloud of something. Like,
No.
and the figure of a pterodactyl. I don't
I wanna
know.
see
I don't know.
everything.
I do. So I don't know what to expect. I definitely do want to watch this too. But I'm not going to set my hopes high. I feel like there's going to be a lot of cool possibility and detail, but no detail.
I love Godzilla, and I love. So
He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm watching this.
it looks
I'm going to
real
love it.
fucking good. Also, have you seen King Kong?
Yeah.
The new one?
That shit is banging.
Oh yeah,
I love
that
it.
ties into this too.
Of course it does, because it's all these titans.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like, I get it.
So
And don't mind me. I'm just doing my makeup. Right
yeah, I noticed. Like, what are you doing right now? You're all fucking. Oh, look at this.
I'm
all
looking
glam.
good. I'm doing my makeup tutorial right now, you guys.
So we're gonna do this side by side review. I'm gonna review Godzilla. She's gonna be like, and then you get this red lip right
Please
here,
don't ask questions about what I'm using.
smoky eye.
I'm going to do the smoky eye.
I'm gonna do a
next.
smoky eye right now.
It makes things interesting, no?
A natural
I'm going to
brow.
look like
I'm
a
gonna
whole
do
different
natural,
person at the end of the show.
Natural brow it up.
I'm going to do Jarrett's makeup
I'm gonna
next.
I'm gonna do a bake. I'm gonna bake real quick.
Garrett, you're going to get this. You're going to get the bake.
I'm gonna get the bake. Boom.
Okay. I'm just going to show you
Well,
what it's like.
You go ahead and keep doing the thing. that
I'm
you're
doing
doing.
the thing.
Do that thing.
Don't distract
Going
me.
forward, yeah, Godzilla looks amazing.
Okay, what else are we
Next,
looking at?
okay, so this is something that you were interested in very much so when I told you about it.
It looks so scary.
Bright Burn.
I can't.
This is a brand new trailer
I don't want to see
from
it.
James Gunn producing, but a different director. You have, let's see, what's the actual name of the director of this guy? It's somebody I personally haven't heard of, but James Gunn producing. And
What's his
it's
name?
we're trying to figure that out.
No, I meant the movie name.
Oh, it's called Bright Burn.
Brightburn director.
There you go. I like this. You're being proactive right now. I think it
Not
is-
really, because my translator's like Brightburn.
Yeah,
Here are 15 places for
Da-
Brightburn.
David Yarovsky. I don't think I've ever heard that name. But
He sounds Russian.
yeah, or something like that. And it is produced by James Gunn. It is essentially a story about a Superman-esque character that instead of turning into Superman, is
Turns into the demon from hell.
kind of horror-y, to be honest.
Or like a whore.
So you have an
Oh,
alien.
no.
Did you break a thing?
Yeah, I did. It's okay.
Aw.
You guys, I'm like the queen of MacGyvering things.
Good.
Continue.
All right.
Okay.
So we have essentially an alien baby who crash lands
Ooh.
and gets adopted by these human parents.
Where does he come from?
I don't know yet. We don't know yet. In the
And-
trailer, it just shows us that he's an alien baby.
No, but it does show us that there's kryptonite that he's very
susceptible.
Whatever.
He has his own ship that seems to be kind of red aura-y, and that might have something to do with his.
He's a fucking demon from hell. Like he's not
yeah,
nice.
and he turned after he grows up and he has these powers essentially.
And his mom's like always like this coddling. We're paraphrasing from the trailers.
Yeah, the
right?
trailers a little bit, but it looks like they're not treating him well, but they're not training him.
They're not, and also there's like a lack of like security and love.
Yeah.
Like there's something,
and that was one of the main things about Superman.
There's bullying, there's insecurity.
Superman was always taught great morality as a kid, and that was the whole thing that made him
like
Superman.
this new one.
This new guy is like, no.
Welcome to the real life.
He's like,
guys.
I have powers. How about fuck everyone and I'm gonna kill him?
I would do the same. Like that cafeteria lady who like fuck. But I don't want to say it in the sense like I'm not the guy who got picked on. Obviously, I'm not that guy who got picked on because of the Pumas or the Filas who's going to shoot up the school. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is where this is going. And that's what is touchy about it.
It could
where
be.
It's like, this one's going to be that white psycho motherfucker that is everyone's hero, that everyone defends, and everyone keeps defending. But he's kind of maniacal, and you guys should rethink.
He's kind of scary. He's very scary. Yeah, I will say this.
It's demonic.
Check out the trailer for Brightburn. It looks interesting. I want to check it out. You don't, though. You said you didn't like it.
It looks too scary to me, to be honest. Like they made it. It's not like gross or like rapey like Jeepers Creepers, but it's very like I don't like that. I don't like that this kid. I get how kids and horrors. I don't like that shit. Like no. No thanks.
All right, you don't like kids who are killers or super fast character development.
No.
Got it. All right, we're figuring things out now. Last but not least, for sure, is the brand new Avengers Endgame trailer. It's the first one we've ever gotten. It basically it kicks off almost looks like right after Avengers Infinity War.
Immediately after.
Yeah.
I mean, based because even I was confused. I thought he was what do you call it when you're like consoling or like whatever? Because remember I asked you,
yeah,
I thought
is that Black Panther?
It was Black Panther's mask.
She's all like, is that Black Panther's
like,
helmet? I'm like,
everyone
no, that's
just
Iron Man's
died.
helmet.
But I felt like it was really immediate. Like this was just like following
right after this.
the series
it looks like
of tragic events.
If you haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, I don't know what the fuck you've been doing, but this
living their lives.
It's been out for a long fucking time.
And on Netflix too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Netflix on the 25th, but on Prime it's been out for a while. And so you have Avengers Endgame trailer. It starts off with Tony Stark trying to record a message for Pepper Potts. And he's basically...
And he's not talking to Black Panther about how much
not
he
at all.
loves it.
He's basically saying, he's like, I'm about to die right now. So I love you. I will think about you when I go to and pass
Wait,
out.
who is he talking to?
Pepper Potts, his fiance.
No.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson?
No.
Oh.
What the fuck's her name?
She's a redhead?
Yeah, but the other one.
Okay.
The older one.
I don't know.
I legit can't think of her name right now.
Mila Jovovich?
Definitely not.
I like her.
Yeah. No, I do too.
Can we talk about Fifth Element in our next...
We can.
time together?
We'll do some old school movie reviews.
We need a...
Yes, and we'll talk about Fifth Element. Boom. All
New
right.
content, you
New
guys.
content coming up.
New content alert.
But yeah, so he's talking about he's talking to Pepper, and then he's very sad.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of other shit where it's like,
Oh, it's that white bitch
yes,
with the blonde hair. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cameron D...
no,
It's someone like her.
it's very close.
Yeah, I'm close.
I agree.
I know.
And then you have Captain America, Scarlett Johansson's character.
I like her. I really like Scarlett.
Black Widow. They're basically like saying how, yeah, Thanos won. He snapped his fingers and 50% of the universe
He got what he wanted.
died. They're gone.
Okay.
And it's very sad and very somber. And then at the very end, you have fucking Ant-Man come out of nowhere like, hey, guys.
That was so weird because I don't even... I'll come back.
Come back.
I said, that was so weird because that was the one movie that I told you I haven't seen yet.
I haven't seen Ant-Man.
And I know the gist of it. Like, But what does that mean? Like more people are
So
coming to collaborate.
the-
More people are like
at the-
coming to contribute to this.
This is a slight spoiler. Well, no, it's a spoiler for Ant-Man, but I mean, she likes spoilers, so
I
will-
love spoilers, you guys.
It's the
So
weirdest fucking thing.
I should have like a spoiler show, and people.
Maybe.
You want to help me?
Yeah.
You're not against it?
Why would I?
I don't know.
If so, there's
I love spoilers.
there
so
are
hard.
plenty of people out there that have seen the movies and are ready for spoilers,
I
or
will
B,
watch a movie
like
when you tell me, like, how does it end?
Yes.
And I've dead ass asked people, like, how does this end? And only few people, and the ones I trust are the ones. They're
Yeah.
like, this happens. I'm like, no fucking way. How? Well, now you have to go see it. I'm like, yup. I'm going to go see
She
this motherfucking
thrives
movie.
off it. You tell her
It's
spoilers, she's like, I want to see
beautiful.
it now.
It's, I mean, I'm not asking, I'm not going onto websites. I'm
No.
not being like,
No.
rate this movie.
But
I'm
somebody
asking my kid. I'm
your
asking
friends.
you.
Yeah.
I'm asking, you know, like, what you think? And they're like this. Well, what happened? Well, are you going to go see it? Nope. And I'll tell them. I'll lie. I'm like, no. What happens? This. Whew. I'm going to go see this before this weekend's. Like, that's done. But
Yeah.
I understand that that's not, like, the majority of people. Like, if someone spoils... Like if I'm working,
I'd be pissed.
If
I'd
I'm
be
no.
pissed.
If I am working, I think series are a thing. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
I'm working during a Game of Thrones episode and someone is posting some shit on Facebook, like, just don't do it because like, oh my god, that's like I haven't even unfriended people for like voting for certain people or doing other things. 'Cause I'm not going to take the time to do that
Yeah.
at certain points. Or you're my good friend or you're whatever.
Yeah.
Holy shit. If you fucking kill a Game of Thrones episode for
Okay,
me,
well,
I
that's
will
interesting.
fucking,
That you,
like, don't.
that's where you draw the line.
I
So,
will decapitate. Like, there's
movie
just, that's it.
spoilers.
You're done. You're out of my life. You're dead to
Movie
me.
spoilers, you want
R.I.P.
them.
Ryan.
Movie spoilers that you like them, but series spoilers, you're like, fuck you, I will kill you.
Specifically, because if I'm habitually watching something every Sunday
Uh-huh.
and I'm not watching it right when it airs because of like whatever
Work
is
or
going,
yeah.
But I am for the most part, say 80%.
Yeah.
And I'm committed to this motherfucking shit. And
Yeah.
someone is just dead at like, oh my god, this, and it's like someone who's rewatched and watched the show. Something you let on like this, you're killing it for me. You know what I mean? Like that, I can't.
And that's how most people feel with everything. I don't know why
love
there's
that. I
why
love
is there
that.
why is there differentiation
There's a
between you and-
duality. I'm like a Gemini rising. There's two
Are you
people.
a Gemini? No, you're
No.
not. Your birth is in
I'm a
December.
Capricorn, but my rising sign is Gemini.
I don't know what that means.
That means that I have a lot of tendencies that are like that. So it's like
That makes
there's
sense.
dual. There's forces that are like.
Okay, so
don't.
I don't follow a lot of this shit. I understand. I know what I am. I'm an Aries. I don't know what the rising
I love.
sign is.
Do you like Matthew McConaughey?
Well enough, I guess. I don't not like him.
I love because I just sent my friend a meme text or a GIF, and I was like,
GIF.
I know. What?
Yep.
Why?
Because that's what it is.
Can we talk about this in
not on
public?
air.
No. Okay, fine.
It's gonna do it long now.
This segment's gonna be 5 hours long.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
we're already ready to wrap it up, and I have to pee again.
Me too.
So I want
Let's wrap it.
I want to thank everyone again for tuning in right now, and of course listening as you are. I want to thank our guest today and co-host at the moment, Rossyo Ortiz. Thank you for coming on and having a nice conversation with us.
Thank you for having me.
By us, I mean me. I mean, I talk about myself in a
By
different
me, I
ways.
mean us.
Me and us,
Same.
right?
Same.
Exactly.
You guys.
Do you want to plug anything?
This
if
is
you
so
feel
much
like it?
fun.
Like, do you want them to follow you anywhere, or just like
no, we're okay.
Like, don't.
I don't know you
No.
guys. Well, I don't know. Next time we'll have all these things set up, but
Cool.
not yet. For now, I'm just here supporting you.
I appreciate that so much. And thank you so much for listening. You can go ahead and follow us everywhere at Humpcast, basically. Twitter, Instagram, all the stuff. Humpcast. There it is. Me personally, Garrett_AM Lee. And next week, you can tune in live, of course, again, and catch us every Wednesday.
Hopefully, I'll be here next week too.
Oh, maybe. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you a little bit after this. All right. Thank you so much. Good fight. Good night.
Is that fun? Oh my god.